G'day, cunts! Welcome to episode 22, I think? I don't know. I should probably really check this before I do it, but I don't give a fuck. That's just kind of the podcast that I run.
Yeah.
Welcome to the GreenCast, a podcast by me, Mr. GreenText, where I usually remember to myself in my bedroom. This week, I am joined by the first guest to actually ever make a second appearance on the podcast.
Ew,
That is the lovable drunk Irishman, Neckbeardia.
Yours alright,
So, I'm not really that prepared at all for this fucking podcast. Usually I come with some like questions and topics. Didn't fucking have any really prepared for it.
Well, you can always spam
But-
the Discord this time now, because you got that up and running, so like, you just like,
Yeah,
everyone just nick the fuck out of them and be like, give me shit now. I need it, I need it. If you want, I could do it as well, I'll be honest with you, it'd be good fun. But I've got the biggest pack of fucking piss goblins in my Discord, so like, you never know.
I mean, I've got a couple in my head, just as you were like literally talking before.
Alright.
I know you're a fucking massive like 40k nerd and stuff and everything.
Oh,
My friend's been trying to get me into the tabletop 40k for like the past couple of years,
well,
and I actually just bought my first 40k kit.
oh, what do you get? What army are you going for?
I'm going for the Tau Empire.
Oh,
'Cause
me
they-
fucking weeb. Well, you're like beside Japan, so I suppose it makes sense, doesn't it? But no,
I literally,
well,
I did no research at all. I'm like, hey, they look like cool robot dudes. I will go with them.
Well, be honest with you, Tower are pretty interesting. Like, in the tabletop, they're actually really good, but they've got very little. See if you get charged. Like, if any army charges into you, they're weak as fuck. They're. I don't know if I should go off on a big lore rant. To be honest with you, that probably wouldn't be the best thing. Like, because that's what it's going to turn into. It's like, yeah, so see them space communist fuckers, fuck them, pack of gay boys. Nah, they're actually not too bad. No, I played against them a few times, and they are a very hard army to deal with because they're. See, in the shitting phase, it's actually ridiculous. They can rip you to shreds. Like, even their beast weapons, like, them pulse rifles and stuff are dirt to deal with. They're very, very strong, so they're. No
hell yeah.
psychic powers. That's the only downside to them. But no, what do you get? Do you just get one of those start collecting box sets,
Well, my friend recommended, like, there's me and another guy that he recommended getting, like, a strike team that we can play with, because it's a lot easier of a barrier to entry than getting, like, an actual full-on army.
Oh, yeah. Like, that's the problem with 40k. It's dipping your toes in and being able to, like, because it's fucking, like, especially for you boys, like, see Australia and New Zealand, the price is just disgusting. Like, for me...
Oh, yeah.
I play Dark Eldar personally because I'm a dirty edgelord faggot. So like, well, if you're into the gore, I would definitely recommend. For me, I love the gore. Like the universe is massive; it's Tolkien-esque in scale, and that's pretty much what my YouTube channel is about these days. To be honest with you, but I enjoy it. Like it's nice to because the problem I have with a lot of green texts is they're a bit like creepypastas in a way, and some of them are good and some of them are shite, and it's kind of hard to be like, does this work? I don't know.
A lot of them are also the same thing, just like slightly different.
Yeah, you do come across that. Although, oh, sorry. No, I was getting grief from one of the mean piss goblins in the Discord saying, James, look at your fucking submissions. Just you've got like enough for 4 or 5 videos out of that alone. Just go into it. It's like, right, okay. I suppose I will. I should. Because I do enjoy them. They're not bad. And they're fun. The good thing about green text is you can put memes and stuff in and be a bit, and you can fuck about with them a bit more than lore videos and fan fiction and shit like that.
Oh yeah, I do that all the time too. Where if something like fucks up, I'll just like, I'll put a bit of a text meme in here.
Bit of
an Easter egg.
Well, you'll find out. I'm working on a parody video. Yeah, so let's see. I found a text to speech device that has an Australian accent. I'm not taking the piss. You'll see. I'll put it out. What day? You post these on Sundays, don't you?
Yeah, usually Sunday.
Yeah, I'll post it as well. So I will sure I'll put it in the comments. I thought it was funny, just because I was like, no way, this is an Australian one. Yeah, fucking sweet. Yeah, fucking right. So,
oh my god,
you're quite glad. It's like, what the fuck's this spastic thought up of? What the fuck is going on? Please make it stop. Oh god, this was a massive mistake.
Oh, my friend. I was going in. My friend was like driving me a place, and he had a Navman, which is like a pretty popular brand of like GPS
Aye.
type shit. And he had a fucking special edition one that had an Australian accent on it,
Oh,
and it would give fucking special Australian phrases too.
oh, that's
And
pretty cool.
so you come up to a roundabout and I go, when you're coming up to the roundabout, mate, go straight through. And
Uh,
I'm like, oh, this is fucking gold.
yeah, that's pretty sweet. Have you seen? Because I've seen ones with like Snip Dog and stuff you can get, and like,
Oh my god.
do you know the fella? He's quite big in the UK. Fucking Stephen Fry. Do you know Stephen Fry at all?
Oh yes, I have heard of him.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a comedian, isn't he?
yeah. Well, he used to do. He's more of like a TV host these days, but he does a lot of like audiobooks and stuff like that. He's an interesting fella. He's done some really good documentaries. I really enjoy him, like, you know. But no, he's someone worth checking out. But he does do sat navs and stuff like that, and he's very like he's very polite English type. You know what I mean? Very well to do and all that jazz. But no, he's funny, like, you know.
Oh, I just had like a random question pop into my head. What's your favorite conspiracy theory?
Oh, conspiracies, right? So so okay, so I've got one of my mates is one of those ones, like, so my mate, I fuck it. Okay, what we'll call him? We'll call him fucking. We'll call him Daniel, sure. Yeah, we'll call him Daniel. I was like, shit. Give me a name. Okay, so his name starts with D. I'm like, shit. I can't. Okay, Daniel. Daniel will do the job, right? So meet Daniel, and he's one of those ones. He smokes a lot of green. Like, he smokes far too much green for his own good. Although he's calmed down recently, but he's one of those ones.
Yeah.
Like, what is it with fucking stoners and conspiracies? Like, he was down to my house a few months back, and it was one of those ones where having a drinking session. And we end up having a fag out the back garden, and this was like fucking like 7 o'clock in the morning, and like,
yeah,
so it was bright and shit. And he ended up starting to say to me, "It's like, all the chemtrails, like see all the chemtrails, James.
Fuck's sake.
James, look at the chemtrails." I'm like, oh my god, please. Like, I think we should go to bed now. I think, but no, he's one of those ones. He's dead, big into chemtrails, big into all that type of shit. For me, okay, the biggest conspiracy one for me would probably be like, you know, some of the CIA ones, because when it comes to the CIA, we know that they were up to no good for the most part. Like, you know, that MK Ultra and all that type of shit, we know for a fact it did happen. So I would lean pretty heavily when it comes to anything to do with the CIA. Like, you know, that J. Edgar Hoover, the guy was fucking, like, so this is back in like the 60s, and he's like, he's a cross-dressing gay fella, head of one of the most important organizations in the man. This guy knows that if he's sunk, he needs to keep tabs on everyone around him, because it's a way of him having like blackmail and power over people. So, like, you know, this guy was up to no good. Like, you know, but like for me, probably JFK would be the big one. Like, okay, don't get me wrong, I do believe George Orwell was definitely involved, and he probably did shit on him. But I do think there was multiple shitters. And I do think there was probably more involved. That's what I would lean on. But after that, like, you know, when it comes to most conspiracy, I'm kind of like, nah, you know, I don't know. What would you?
I'm not gonna lie. When you said shooters, it sounds like you said shitters.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I suppose they might as well.
They got a couple of shitters.
Fuck's sake! I don't think I'm saying that, but a lot of people they comment. They've got no idea where the fuck I'm from, because I've got a bit of an unusual accent, even for fucking Northern Ireland standards. So, like, you know,
I mean, it's pretty fucking obvious that you're fucking goddamn Irish, dude.
No, well, I don't know. Like, a lot of people, like, they can pin it down to the British Isles, but after that, like, you know, they're kind of like, what? I don't know.
What?
But to be fair, it's just because I only really do intros and outros in my videos, and that'll be about it. Or sometimes doing live streams, so they don't actually hear me all that often. You know what I mean? So,
right. Yeah. If they actually heard your conversation, then it'd be more.
Yeah. It's only the ones in the Discord that really know what I actually like talk like.
Oh, fucking what was I gonna say? So, oh yeah.
What's your one then? Go for your like conspiracy.
I don't know, because a couple of days ago I finished listening to one of the Joe Rogan podcast where they had this guy on called Mike West, and he runs a website where he debunks shit. Yeah. And he was explaining some of like the popular ones like chemtrails, and he had a pretty good explanation as to why it's fucking retarded. Yeah. And it's just like a lot of it was like that they think there's aluminium that like they're using to sway people, which is like, what do you mean? It's metal. That's not how it works.
You know, you know the biggest problem when it comes to conspiracies, it's the whole idea of fucking it's fucking woke people and stoners that like wind me up. I fucking can't stand fucking woke people. Like, you know what I think it is when it comes to all these, like, a lot of conspiracies do have something to them, and a lot of the time, like, yeah, you can kind of like, oh, that's interesting or that, but you're reaching out most of the time, you're heavily reaching out there, like, you know, it's just like, mate, calm you down. But it's the idea of this, someone, like, you know, sitting, smoking green, talking like fuck, and then they end up, like, you know, watching some weird ass documentary, and suddenly, oh, I'm woke as fuck. I'm like, you know, and they've got this idea of, like, it's like hidden knowledge. Does that make any sense? Like, you know, it's these people that are on a quest for, like, secret knowledge that no one else knows about, but they know about,
I kind of get you.
And like, it's like, mate, calm down, could you, like, please, like, you know, for me, I get that with history quite a bit. Like, you know, because there's so much to go into, and there's so much that we don't know when it comes to history. Like, you know, for instance, what would be a good example? Okay, so, like, you know, so we know, okay, World War II. Well, sorry, World War One. We'll go for. So we know that the Germans put in Lenin. They sent Lenin into Russia to try and collapse the government by sending in, like, you know, agitators. Like, you know, which did work. They also were using Mexicans, Elva, I can't remember, it's some fucking Spanish name, it was Pancho Villa. They used Pancho Villa to hold up a lot of train, like, you know, train tracks and shit like that, like, you know, like, train robberies. And then, what do we know about, this is one that isn't talked about, or at least it's not known about, is Easter Rising in Ireland. I would have picked good money, and this is, you know, this is a bit of a conspiracy. Like, were the Germans funding the IRA in World War One for the Easter Rising? Well, that's not something that we normally, like, you know, it's not talked about, or it's, at least it's not out there. But it would be a conspiracy that I think I would lean into, because it makes sense. It makes complete and utter sense. Like, you know, they were trying to undermine the Russians, they were trying to undermine the Americans. Why would they not try and undermine the UK? You know, to me that makes complete and utter sense. Like, you know.
Right.
So, I don't know. Maybe it's something.
I mean, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I'm not that much of a history fucking nerd or anything like that.
Oh,
so a lot of
fuck over
straight over my head.
It's something I wank like fuck over. I want to do more. I've been trying to lean into doing more some history videos and stuff, but it's hard for me to do them because, like, I find, like, you know, you need to have a good cohesive narrative, and, like, I find doing podcasts better for trying to do history, and you know, it's hard to stay on the right topic, and, like, you know, it's really not, like, I'm not. There's a good saying that I like, and it's about the whole idea of you don't know something well enough until you can explain it well enough, you know. If you, like, for instance, like, you know a bad teacher when you meet one, like, you know, they just don't know the subject well enough to be able to explain it to someone in a simple enough term for them to understand. And I definitely get that with history, because it's just so much, like, you know, and I just can't do it. I'm not, like, you know, I'm not someone that's capable of that sort of thinking.
Yeah. Well, it's like me with, like, I don't know, the only, like, subject that I find that I could do that with is, like, I think I've got it down to, like, a T at this point, explaining how 3D printing works to, like, a grandmother or something.
That's pretty good. That'd be a hard one. I can do that.
Yeah, because it's like, I have a 3D printer thing, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is 3D printed. And they're like, what? How does that work? And so then I've got this spiel down to this point now. It's just like, there's a bunch of motors that pull around this plastic that melts it and builds it up in layers like that.
Yeah. You know, also, see, if you get into 40k and you got a 3D printer, you're sorted. You've got no idea. You've actually got no idea how sorted you are. The amount of money I've spent on bits alone. Like, say, I'm making, like, a model that's, like, you know, it's using bits from here, and here. So what do you have to do? Say if you just want, like, you know, there's plenty of bit sellers online, but they cost, like, see the price of post and packaging. It's just like, mate, stop killing me. Like, you know, it's actually disgusting. Just the post and packaging alone. Like, you know, on some of the bits that you're looking for, and, like, they're normally out of stock or whatever. You've either got them, or you're gonna have to buy a full box just to get, like, 2 bits out of. Like, oh, so you'll be wanking like fuck. And the good thing with Thai is they're very, like, the whole Gundam style that they have is, like, you know, very flat surfaces, and I think that would be very easy for you to use a 3D printer with, because what is it with 3D printers? They can normally have quite a rough, like, layer to them almost.
It depends on the type of printer. Like, when people think of 3D printers, they're usually thinking of FDM, which is the plastic where it builds it up in layers like that. That'd be good. I actually did have a look. I'm probably going to print like a Tau mech or something like that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That'd work pretty well. But with smaller models like that, probably what you want to do, and a lot of people use it for printing their own little D&D miniatures, is that they use SLA and SLS 3D printing, which is a resin-based 3D printer, where basically how it works is that you have your vat of resin, and it has the build plate that's upside down, and each layer, it shoots a laser and instantly cures the resin and builds it up like that, and it pulls it out of the vat, and you just get like a much higher quality of a thing, and you don't really have like the print lines or anything like that, and it's less likely to break under its own weight.
Well, here you've actually got enough experience when it comes to like, well, like, you know, when it comes to like getting into models and stuff, you like, you know, you do all that there, like, you know, making all the weapons and stuff and whatever, selling them on Etsy. So I suppose you've got a good head about you for like modeling. Like, you know, well, close enough anyway. Like, you know, I wouldn't say, like, you know, it's pretty similar stuff. It's not too different. Like, you know, is that like a is that like a personality trait that you need to have for making fucking green text videos? You need to be a bit of a fucking like, you know, dirty dwarf and like, you know, fiddle about with like things, if you know what I mean. I don't know. Maybe it's like a thing that you need to have, or like, you know, a common personality trait.
Yeah, it's definitely like, I'm definitely a creative type, and I definitely love having a thing at the end of the day that I can be like, oh fuck, I made that.
Yeah, it is nice. I do like that. Like, you know, that's a nice. I suppose, you know, that's the whole thing. Like, you know, like for me, I know I never thought I'd be getting into fucking. Okay, I'll tell you my origin on YouTube. I like, so what I did was, right, me and Megan got this house, so we did, and we've got 3 rooms in it. So like, you know, I've got my own wee spare room. And I thought, like, you know, YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube, and I see a lot of people like there that are shite. You know what I mean? I could do better than that. I know finally I'm better than that. You know, I like to have this mindset of like, you know, I could probably do something better than they are doing. You know what I mean? And like, you know, that's a good way of thinking, I think. And so I got myself a wee piece of shit webcam, and I made a video about 40k, and it was fucking horrible. It was possibly the worst piece of shit you've ever seen in your whole fucking life. Well, it wasn't that bad. I mean, I think I made some good points, but the production, like the webcam I bought, was shite. It was absolute dog shit. And so I was looking about, and I was looking at what could I make on my computer, like, you know, and just on my computer, where I've got no like, you know, it's all editing and none of actually me in it, like, you know, because my webcam's a piece of shit. I've got bad audio, I got bad video. What am I going to do? So I look about, I was like, oh, these green text videos are really funny. To be honest with you, I've seen a good few of them knocking about, and like, you know, I read them anyway. So like, you know, yeah, I could do this. Yeah, fuck it, I'll give this a wee go. And I made one, and to be honest with you, it wasn't even that good, but I don't know, it got like 10,000 views over the course of like a month, and I was like, what the fuck?
Nice.
Yeah, it was my first one. It's actually it's my most popular video on my channel, and I didn't think, and it's actually really bad, to be honest with you. It's like I think it's horrible compared to the stuff that I do now. I think it's really bad. Of course. But like, you know, like, let me get it up here. It's on like 150,000 views, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Jesus.
Like, how the fuck did I even manage this? But anyway, so I managed to do that, and I was like, yeah, well, I'll make another one, sure, and we'll see what happens. It's actually pretty cool, yeah. So I made another one, and then they continued to like it, and then, fuck it, I just started doing them, to be honest with you, because, like, you know, it's a bit of fun, and as I say, you can put memes in and be a bit silly with them, and you don't need to worry too much. But then I got to the point where, originally, I did want to make 40k videos, and I wanted to do history stuff as well, and, like, so that's what I'm trying to, like, I'm definitely edged into the 40k stuff now. Now I really want to try and start doing more history stuff. That would be a really good, like, goal or ambition, maybe you could say. I don't know, but we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, I don't know. My origin was probably definitely a lot of the same, where it's just like, I wanted to do a thing. I wanted to do creepypastas for a bit, and then I'm like, kind of shit. There's too many people doing it. Yeah. And then I'm like, hey, green text are a thing, and there's no one doing it consistently, so I'm like, I'll fucking do that.
Yeah, fucking right. Well, you see, you need to have a bit of a niche, I think, when it comes to YouTube. Like, you know, everyone wants to be a Let's Player. Anyone that I've met. Every content is like, me, because I'm doing YouTube now full time, which I think is fucking amazing, to be honest with you. I'm really shocked. But, so I've been doing it full time, and anytime I talk to someone, I was like, oh, so what do you do? It's like, oh, I do YouTube full time. It's like, what? Like, you know, it's like, how do you... and they like to ask questions and stuff. And I asked them, it's like, well, what are you like good at, or what are you like? I think you have to pick something that you're interested in and you're good at, otherwise it's not going to work out. And they
of course.
Like, oh, I want to do like Fortnite, and it's like, mate, you can't do that. It's too many. It's oversaturated. No, it's not a good option. I'm telling you, it's really not. Like, the problem is the competition is that steep, and every cunt's looking to do it. So like, I would avoid.
Yeah,
I would avoid it. Like, I don't think it's worth it. To be honest with you, because like, the amount of people that. What's that? It's a Clint Eastwood quote. Man's got to know his limitations. Like, you got to know what you're good at, what you shit at. Like, So,
yeah.
I don't know. But Harry, no, you never told us what your conspiracy one is.
Well, probably the first one that comes to mind, like my favorite, most retarded one, is it's obvious. It's flat Earth.
Flat Earth is fucking ridiculous. To be honest with you, anyone like the only point that they have, like the only point that I will consent to when it comes to the flat Earth policy, is that all the pictures from NASA and stuff that they put out are all done by, it's all computer edited, because you can't because you can't have satellites out that far, so they all have to be pieced together. So they are photoshopped, right? And I can't argue with that, because they are photoshopped, because the satellites just aren't like, the International Space Station. We actually saw it the other week. It was flying about. It was actually pretty cool. I went out to my back garden. You could actually see the International Space Station. I thought it was pretty sweet. But they're not that far away, because like if you can see it with your naked eye, without using like optics or whatever, it's not that far away. So like they have to piece all these photos that they take and put them all together. So technically they are photoshopped, and that's the only thing that flat earthers have going. I would say, but after that they're fucking stupid. Like Well,
I mean, it's not like the International Space Station is the only one that can take pictures. There's plenty of other stuff.
Oh yeah, there is.
But like the famous Blue Marble one, the only main reason why that one's like a composite made from like hundreds of pictures. Yeah. It's because that they wanted a picture of Earth that just wasn't covered in clouds and other shit. Yeah. And they had to take so many pictures over so many days to be able to like piece together that picture so they could have it.
You say you watch Joe Rogan. Do you ever watch that one with Eddie Bravo?
No, I've only just got into him like a couple of months ago. I'm just like picking and choosing at this point. The ones that sound interesting.
Joe Rogan's pretty good. I really liked his one with Alex Jones. Now, because I've always thought of Alex Jones as a fucking mental, and I suppose we'll talk about him getting kicked off the internet soon. Like, but when it comes to...
I talked about it last week before.
Oh, right. Well,
it's my most disliked video.
Oh, right. Well, honestly, when it comes to Alex Jones, I don't think he should be kicked off the internet by any means. This was an organized effort, and when it comes to Alex, don't get me wrong, I don't really follow anything that he says. There's sometimes he comes off, the whole Bilderberg group, he did expose all of that back in the early 2000s. And I'll give him credit for that. But, see, when you start talking about pedophiles and Maoris, mate, just stop. And he doesn't back any of his shit up. He needs, what I liked about him on Joe Rogan was, Joe was like, mate, slow the fuck down, explain yourself. And it was actually really interesting listening to him, and he could actually get up, it was like, what do you call it? Joe's wee gimp boy? The wee fella that, Jamie, it's like, Jamie, get that up. And, he was getting up, and he was actually being able to back it up at the same time. See if Alex Jones just slowed the fuck down and didn't come off with so much shite. The problem is, see if you talk too much shite all the time, no one's going to believe you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That'll be the big problem when it comes to Alex,
Yeah. I didn't realize Alex actually was on Joe Rogan at one point. That's going to be a fucking
the best thing. The best thing was the episode was 9/11. I'm not even taking the piss. It was
fucking hell.
Joe even said about it. Because he said, right, okay, we're going to get Alex on. And he had another 6 or 7 before he could hit 9/11. So he's like, right, let's pump out these podcasts. We need to fucking pump out these podcasts to get it out there and hit that 9/11. Honestly, it was great. But it was a really good one to watch. Fuck. It was very interesting. I will say, because Alex is a bit fucking... He's a bit much for most people. To me, he's just a bit of a meme.
He's a character.
He's a meme. He's one of the closest human beings you can get to anything he says is fucking memeable. He's like the prequel trilogy. Yeah. He's a fucking meme. He's a living, walking meme. But it was definitely a coordinated effort deplatform him, and it's very worrying, like, that whole deplatform him, because, like, he's a good person to go after because he's that easy to take the piss out of, and a lot of people like, he's just, he's just that mental fella that, like, spites shite all the time, you know what I mean? And it's very easy to do that, so it means that they can pretty much go after anyone else if they really want to. He's a good way to dip your toes and test the waters.
I mean, like I said with mine, and I won't get into it so like hard as I did because people fucking got actually triggered. But like, he's like the most like extreme case with all the shit that he was like spouting, like the stuff that he would say was like actually like actively hurting people. So it's just like I don't really feel any remorse for it, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I like the whole the big one that everyone points to is the whole Sandy Hook thing, and it was very like like, if these people can't even visit the graves of their fucking child without being harassed by fucking mentals, that's too far. You know what I mean? That's just too far.
Yeah.
No one could honestly defend that. But then again, this is like, he lives in America. Like, they've got a better constitution than they've got that whole freedom of speech shit, which doesn't apply to any of us. You know what I mean? Like, it
also doesn't apply to the internet and private companies.
Yeah. But also the other big problem is whenever, like, say if you got kicked off of YouTube, where would you go? Like, is there any other platforms that are viable? Like Twitter, there's no other. Twitter and Facebook, they're the public square. You know what I mean? Like, I can't remember. I'm quoting this from someone else. I remember watching it. But, like, it used to be, like, and there used to be, I remember when I was a wee kid, like, so I lived in Northern Ireland, and whenever I went down to the square, on a Sunday, there was a market on, and there was always this fella out preaching, like, all this radical fucking, the Catholics are the devil and all this shit, you know what I mean? Like, no, but it was, like, and that's what he did. And, like, that's kind of what people do these days. Like, that was the best way to get your point across to so many people, whereas now it's the internet, and once you take someone off that, it gets dangerous because it's massive billion-dollar companies control everything, and that's where it gets very dangerous. I would say it's
of course
it's a very slippery slope.
Select few using whatever views that they want to go through. Of course, yeah.
There was a good one. Who was it? I think it was King Dank who said it. It's teenagers in Silicon Valley get to choose what you can and cannot say. You know what I mean? Which is dangerous as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
Anyway, well, so here, you never got to tell us what your fucking conspiracy is.
Oh,
because I keep fucking interrupting you.
Well, I said, like, Flatus is my favorite retarded one, but my favorite one that, like,
you would, like,
I'm actually interested in is, like, I also found it out through, like, another Joe Rogan podcast. It's this guy who's trying to put forth new information to show that the Sphinx and the pyramids are about another 5,000 to 6,000 years older than we previously thought.
Yes,
and he's getting a shit ton of backlash from it from the academic community because, like, that's all they do.
I've heard
like online.
Right, so my mate, Lewis, he does Jewish thoughts. For me, he's big into history. He's amazing. I'll be honest with you, he's very good, but he can be very biased because he's a straight up Nazi. To be honest with you, but
fuck it, eh?
No, he's a straight up Nazi. I'm not even taking the piss. Like, I bought him a SS armband and a thingy for Secret Santa and works with it a wee while back. I thought it was fucking hilarious. To be honest with you, but no, he's big into it. But he, Okay, so I'm not even pyramids are deadly. See, talking in conspiracy theories, like, so we make deal. Daniel, man, it's fucking laughing. Daniel, he's big into the whole aliens built the pyramids and all this shit. It's like, mate, deal, shut the fuck up. You need to remember. Shit. Okay, fucking deal, mate, you're fucked. Okay, but the problem is people underestimate people that lived thousands of years ago. You need to remember that modern human, that we still think the same way as people that lived 150,000 years ago. We haven't really evolved much since then at all. It's only the type of tools that we use and stuff like that. There's a good one. See if you, after this, I definitely recommend you to check it out. It's one guy builds a Stonehenge by himself using very basic, like, he doesn't use any pulleys, no metal, no nothing, and he's able to do it. And you need to remember that these people are just as capable, just as intelligent, and like you know, they're everything else just as you are. Like you know, people have this idea of people that lived back then were just stupid, which is far from the case. I would say, like I think they're just as capable as you. Like, you know, and look at yourself, like, you know, like, you go out, you get yourself a 3D printer, you make guns, you sell them on fucking, well, not actually, you know what I mean, like, props and all that. Just in case the Australian government is watching or whatever, and you end up getting kicked off. You know what I mean?
It's totally legal in my state. If I was in New South Wales, it might be as a whole of the fucking thing. Some other cunt got just got in trouble, got sentenced, was guilty, but then he just got actually let off scot-free recently, because they're like, I mean... He printed a fucking Halo gun and a replica P90. None of them were capable of shooting.
That's fucking
And the New South Wales government is like, yep, you're making imitation firearms, we're taking you to court, because that's illegal.
That's fucking appalling. Like, you know, that's genuinely sad. Like, you know, put it like this. Okay, so I live in Northern Ireland, and we're the last place in the UK, well, all of the British Isles that can actually still own guns legally. Like, you know, and like, we're the only place that the police can actually have guns, which I think is ridiculous that the police can't have guns. Like, you know, no, but like, you know, no, but if you watched any of them videos of, like, you know, English police and all that, like, you know, it takes them 15, like, say if someone has a gun, it takes them an extra 30 minutes to show up. You know what I mean? Like, that's just that's appalling. To be honest with you, like, you know, are you like, oh, but what about the poor criminal? Fuck him. You know what I mean? Like, what's actually wrong with these people? Like, seriously, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But no.
But yeah, with the pyramid stuff, like I was actually really interested in it because it's just like, yeah, that they're smart. It's just we've just lost this fucking knowledge, and it's like.
There's a reason why pyramids show up everywhere. Like, you know, pyramids are the most basic structure you can make. Like, you know, you make a solid foundation and then you build upwards and you make it smaller and smaller and smaller the whole way up. The big problem, I would say, is moving the shit. Like, you know, moving the actual bricks and all. And the biggest one for this is the pyramids they built later on were actually inferior to the older ones. Like, the oldest one's actually the biggest one. Which is the biggest, like, you know, one that pushes this theory that people go for, you know, and like, you know, of course there's hieroglyphs that look like the helicopter and all that shit that they go on about, like, you know.
Well, I mean, like, even with like the pyramids, making a pyramid is a lot fucking hard. You have to be like really mathematically sound, because if you're off by the fucking slightest calculation, your top isn't going to be perfectly equal and you're fucked. And like theirs is like absolutely like perfect. There's like no flaws at all.
You know, as I say, someone that, like, I don't know, it amazes me what ancient people could do. Like, you know, look at what the big thing for me is, it's still fucking standing. You know, it's still standing after thousands. Like, look at all the Roman shit. The Roman shit's still there. You know, what? Actually, one of the oldest structures in Europe is actually in Ireland. Thingy Henge. It's not Henge, it's fucking... Oh, I can't remember the name. I've been to it. It's like a big tomb of sorts, and the sun shines in at one point of the day, and it goes the whole way through. It's like a man-made hill of sorts, and at one point of the day, the sun, like, you know, it's on the, like, summer solstice, the sun directly points the entire way through the tunnel. It's really cool, so it is. But, like, you know, that was built, like, you know, by fucking people about the same time as pyramids, like, you know, which is ridiculous. And you think, and these people don't have, like, you know, they can't even write. You know, like, say if you, which really sets us apart. Like, you know, we look at the internet today, you can convey ideas and emotions and whatever else through the internet. Back then, you would use writing, and you could only, like, that's the only way to convey, like, okay, a good example would be, say, okay, you own a farm, and you invent this bit of farming equipment that helps you out big time, but you can only tell your children about it, or the people that live in your next village. Like, you know, how are you gonna, and how are they gonna know how to maintain that equipment to keep it running and keep it up and going? You know, it's a very interesting one to get into, I think, which I think, like, you know, the burning of Alexandria just makes me sad, to be honest with you. Although I'm jumping all over the show. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm bad for this. You shouldn't get me talking about history. It's a bad idea, to be honest with you.
But even, like, some of the other technology that they made, like the statues, for example, when they were, like, I was listening to this guy explain them, the statues that were made, like, during this time period, they have no idea how they fucking made them, because it's just that perfect of a surface.
Oh yeah.
And there's no tool marks or anything, so they can't identify it.
Oh yeah.
And it was explaining that even today, when people make statues, like it's pretty obvious how they made it. And so it's just like with modern day technology, they can tell, but like something ancient like that, it's just whatever fucking they did that you just can't tell.
Yeah,
And that blows my mind.
It's mental. Like it really is to get into all that type of shit. It's scary to think about, like, you know. But I would almost like, well, make this. He definitely buys into that. There's civilizations that we just don't even know about. Like, you know, a good one is like we don't know what happened at the end of the Bronze Age at all. Like, you know, we just know that sea people showed up and destroyed everything, and people were set back fucking thousands of years, and they don't manage to come back. It takes them 800 to 900 years to come back from that. And then again at the end, you know, after the Romans, like, you know, okay, they don't call it the Dark Ages anymore, they call it late antiquity and all that shit. If any fucking faggot decides it's not Dark Ages because it went dark in China and shit, fuck off, you know. I'm not in the mid to deal with that, but I'm gonna call it the Dark Ages, like, you know, just because it was dark in Europe, alright? But, like, you know, things go back, and, like, you know, people don't live as long, and they understand that, like, you know, literacy drops way down, and, you know, there's highs and lows, and it's, you know, what makes it really interesting is we're riding pretty high for the last while. Like, you know, what happens when we hit the next low? You know, because it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's what we've always done. And to say that it's not going to change, like, you know, there's a good chance it could. Like, you know, as the old saying goes, history repeats itself, although not always in the exact same way. I don't know. It's heavy. Or should I say woke? Will we use woke?
Yeah.
Yeah, woke is good, like, you know.
I don't know, even like along that some sort of same lines. Like, it's also funny to me that, like, we are closer to, like, the time of Cleopatra than the time when Cleopatra was between, like, her and building the pyramids.
But Cleopatra she wasn't even, like, Egyptian. She was a Greek, for fuck's sake. Like, you know, she was part of the top. She was a Ptolemy. Oh Jesus! Don't start to me about Alexander. No, please make it stop. Make it stop. No, I love Alexander, and see the whole, like, that period of Rome is my favorite. Like, you know, the fall of the Roman Republic is just, I wank like fuck over that shit. It's ridiculous. Cleopatra is a really interesting person to go into. Like, you know she was ugly in real life. She was actually fucking hideous. Like,
really?
Yeah, there's coins of her. If you Google a little image it, type it in, coins of Cleopatra. She was fucking brutal, so she was. Although, you don't remember, she was fucking, well, who was it? She was fucking Caesar, and then she was fucking Marcus. Shit, I've got too much to drink in me. But anyway, it was Mark Anthony, and then after Mark Anthony, she was fucking someone else. But you know, she's really interesting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh Christ!
But she was brutal.
The fucking goblin nose.
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, she wasn't that nice looking, but she was incredibly witty. She was a mathematician. She could speak several languages. You know, and you need to remember she's fucking Caesar here, and Caesar is, like, you know, Caesar. Like, you know, at this point, like, you know, what is written about him and so this is what's written about him alone that we still know of after 2,000 years. Apparently he's fucked over fucking 300 people at this point, and that's only the shit that's written about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe he doesn't always go for the looks. He goes for more of the, like, you know, because she is like, you know, she's an incredible human being, and she's a very formidable human being. Like, you know, and there's just so much stuff about her that, like, oh fuck, it's like, you know, please, everyone knows Cleopatra. Like, you know, and there's not many women from the ancient world. Like, who do you, like, not many people know Alexander the Great's fucking mum's name, and she was a fucking mental. She's just as formidable as Cleopatra. Like, there's no one from that time period that we know of. Like, she was considered a witch and shit, and, like, she killed the dad, like, Philip of Amadeus, or whatever the fuck you call it.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting stuff. Honestly, Alexander the Great's mum's a really interesting. If you're into Cleopatra, try out Alexander's mum, even though I can't remember the fucking name. Oh god, Latin is just not my forte. Latin, I'm not good with languages, so, like, you know, unless it's anglicized, I'm done for.
Yeah.
Oh, my phone keeps going out because I keep talking shite in your ear.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of it's still fresh in my mind because I just finished playing Assassin's Creed Origins not too long ago.
Oh, not bad. You know, I really enjoyed. Okay, so the last one I played was Black Flag. So it was, and I really enjoyed Black Flag. I thought it was a lot of fun. But I remember I got, what was the one? It was the one in France I bought, and I don't know.
Unity.
Yeah, I bought that one.
Yeah, that one was rough.
Yeah, I played it for, I'm not even joking, I played it for about 2 hours, and I was like, mate, this is gay, and then I haven't touched it again. it was like, yeah, to be honest with you, I was so sad, and even then, I wasn't even looking for much. I just thought, yeah, sure, if it's as good as Black Flag, I'll fucking be well up for it. And it was dog shit. I was like,
well, it was like the whole thing is they with Unity, they're just like, hey, French Revolution, but there wasn't much of the French Revolution actually in it.
I know French Revolution. Oh, but stop talking about history, please make it stop. No, I'll go on another tangent. I don't want to derail you too much.
I don't know. Well, it's like Assassin's Creed is probably one of my favorite like game franchises.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely been like some fucking rough, rough games.
What would be your favorite one? Like, to pick out of, like,
Assassin's
Creed. For me, I would say it's probably the second one, Assassin's Creed 2, because I thought the first one was a bit dog shit. To be honest with you, I thought I got really bored with it after a while, and I played it for a good few hours, and then because it was back whenever the PS3 just came out, and I was about 13, I think, at the time, maybe because I was in second year in school. And I got the PS3 so I did, and I got Assassin's Creed because it looked so cool at the time. Like, he's got like this fucking white jacket and shit, and I don't know, it just looked really good. So I bought it, and then I don't know, it was just a bit disappointing. And then my mate bought the second one, and he's like, "No, trust me, it's good." And he gave me a land of it, and I was wanking. I really enjoyed the whole Ezio and shit. It was really well done. I really liked it. But no, go for your favorite one.
Well, I mean, like. Yeah, Ezio is just a lot more like charismatic, and I've probably got the most like nostalgia for 2. Yeah. But I think that the first thing that comes to mind is probably like Rogue.
Which one was
I really fucking enjoyed Rogue.
Was Rogue again?
Rogue was the one where you're a Templar.
Oh, that was set in the Civil War, was it, or Independence?
Yeah,
we were talking about Assassin's Creed last time I was on. Come to think of it,
I don't know.
We were. It's because anytime I come on, it's like, I'm going to talk about history because that's what I feel like talk. It's what I do. It's what I do when I drink. It's because like when my mates come into my house, I end up just always talking about history to them because I do. It's just something. You know what I mean? Like, Megan gives me.
It's just the thing that you like and you know a lot about. So yeah.
It's nice to talk about though, and there's so many different. One of the big ones that I think a lot of people don't understand about it is, like, you look at today's like. What would be the word like news, so you could get like a Fox News version of history, or the CNN version of history, or the MSNBC or the BBC version of history, and it's about different ways. And it's all about like taking the information that we know, and what does this mean, and what can you apply from it, and like, are they actually talking shit? Was this a primary source? Was it written 200 years down the line? Who was writing it for a start? If you read if you read any Roman histories, fuck me, they are brutal. Although bar Tacitus was very nice to the Germans, and that's where you get a lot of fucking Nazi ideology from, was Tacitus's writings, which they all point to. It's like, oh look, the noble barbarian and the noble savage, which is really interesting. Tacitus. If you're interested in Nazi Germany, definitely Tacitus is a good person to go for. I would say anyway. See, this is why I need to do more history videos. I need to put it out there. I need to talk about it. It's you know what I mean? I don't know. It's something for me anyway.
Yeah, fucking go for it, man. Get it out of your fucking head.
Yeah. So what else would you go for after like conspiracies and stuff? What else would you be interested in? Like, is it your...
Oh fuck. I don't know. Well, like obviously, just like Flat Earth is only like my favorite, like most retarded one. Because they obviously they're like, oh yeah, so the Earth is round because of this, obviously, and then they just come up with some bullshit excuse that they just make up out of nowhere, or they'll just like dismiss it for no reason, just be like, oh no, the plane, it has a curved window, so it makes it look curved, or oh no, the GoPro has a fisheye lens, so it makes it curved.
Yeah, it's pretty sad when you can actually see the curvature of the fucking Earth. You know what I mean? Like, I suppose it's like, let's face it, it's mostly Americans that believe in this here thing, and most of them live inland, so like, can you really blame them? Like, let's face it, when I take the dog out to the fucking beach, like, you can see the fucking curvature of the ocean, like, you can see it, like, on a sunny on a sunny day when I used to drive into work, my last job, like, if it was a sunny day, I could see Scotland. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you can see, like, you can see the curve, like, like, mate, if you can see it physically, like, what are you lying for? That's really what it comes down to for me.
Well, even like the the illusions where if you look out to the ocean, and sometimes you see the illusions of stuff like freighters, where they look like they're floating because like the atmosphere is like, and the curvature of the Earth is like actually causing the image of the light to bend like that.
I don't know, like, see them flat.
And yeah, they just come up with some excuse to just like bullshit it away, and I'm like, fuck's sake.
Yeah, the problem, you know, a lot of these people are fundamentalists at heart. And like the way my favorite one that I ever heard was the definition of a fundamentalist is someone that won't change the mind and won't change the topic, which I would definitely say applies to most hardcore conspiracy theorists. Although a good one, because I was saying I buy into a lot of like CIA ones. You know, it was CIA that actually coined the term conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah,
to discredit them. So you know, maybe it's hard to say. There's something maybe there. You never know. Like the problem is when it comes to like most governments and stuff. Let's face it, they're probably up to no good most of the time. Like you know, and like you know, there's too many like. What would be the right word? Like okay, so a lot of the technology we use today is all stuff we got off the army like fucking like 50 years ago. Like the sat navs we were talking about earlier, that's GPS, that's from the US Army. The internet, again, army. You know, there's a lot like barbed wire, for instance. That's even the most one. Well, no, barbed wire wasn't actually. That was a farming one, so it was before the army. Never mind. I'm all. Shh, I made a mistake. Shh. But no, there is quite a few of them, and like you know, okay, a good one I like to use is whenever. Like I think Osama bin Laden, like you know, they probably killed him then and there. Like you know, a lot of people don't buy into it. They think he died years ago. But like you know, Osama bin Laden, a good one was at SEAL Team 6. They used these stealth helicopters that were first designed back in fucking 91. Like you know, and they were only used then. So like, what's to get fed to us and what isn't, and what are they? And like you know, say if you you walk into any factory, like any factory today. Like, you know, you've done, you've went to uni, you've studied manufacturing engineering or electronic engineering or whatever. And you go ahead and you go into this factory. What are they going to do with you the first thing you walk in? They're going to put you into training and they put you into training for a good minimum 8 months because the way their machines work, no one else knows how the machines work because they don't want other companies stealing their techniques.
That and they don't want to fucking like let you like lose a finger in a machine and get sued to a high hell.
Oh yeah, I actually my mate's dad's missing a finger, so he is.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's a thing as well. But like you know, it is like it's something definitely like you know they will sit you down and they will spend months and months training you before you'll even be allowed in. You know what I mean? So if it's the same for private companies, I would say there'd be not much different. And sure, Israel is still denying they've got nukes for God's sake. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so God knows.
Yeah.
And so's, well, what is it? Is it Iran? Yeah, Iran still say they officially, they don't have nukes, but they have, like, like, you know, things to say, yeah, don't poke the hornet's nest. I don't know. That's kind of what they do. Like, you know, they say that they don't, but, like, they kind of get on like they do. You know what I mean? So, it's like an open secret sort of thing with them.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I quickly Googled to like remind myself. One of my other favorite conspiracy theories that I love to entertain, and it's just like interesting and how fucking deep it goes, is Planet X and Nibiru.
Oh, what's this? I don't know this one.
Oh, so apparently it's a extra planet that has been concealed in our solar system without us knowing, been dubbed Planet X or Nibiru. Which apparently one day will pass close enough to Earth to destroy it. There's been like dates for apparently.
Why?
I don't know.
Why? See, this is a problem when it comes to most conspiracy theories. Why? Who gives a fuck? Like, why are they trying to keep this information? What are you doing? Do you not think like, okay, see, to stop this type of shit, you're gonna use if you know what's gonna happen. And you're in charge. Like, okay, say, like, oh yeah, this is a good one. You see that there video of Trump when he was first in office and he sat down and was talking to Obama. I like the idea of, like, you know, Obama took him in and it's like, right, aliens are real, you know, 9/11, all that shit. And like, Trump was sitting there shitting himself. He looked so nervous, if you know what I mean. While they were doing the press conference, I would love to imagine, like, you know, after each, like, president comes in, they get, like, you know, the debriefing, per se, and they get all this mad shit thrown at them. And then you see Trump, he was like, Like, you know, because Trump's got this personality about him, like, you know, he always keeps it up. Like, you know, he's always got this, like, you know, he always keeps this, like, facade, like, this personality that he throws out there, and, like, you know, he does have a bit of a cult of personality, I would say, when it comes to Trump, because, like, you know, look at the followers that he has, like, they're really into him and all. But I like to imagine, like, you know, when the new president comes in, like, you know, they show them, like, you know, oh, like, you know, 9/11, that was an inside job, fucking MK Ultra, fucking Alex Jones, like, there's pedophiles on Mars, you know, all that type of shit.
I don't know, do you think they really would sit down a new president every time and just be like, oh yeah, so here's literally all of our secrets, because then wouldn't you just go after, like, a previous president?
Well, they probably have some leverage over them, like, you know, I would say, when it comes to, like, blackmail and stuff like that, you never know, and, like, the problem is, I don't know, like, I was talking to someone in work a while back. I still say work as if I still work there. Now I do YouTube full time, but you know what I mean. Okay, so whenever I say work, I mean me old jobs. And I was talking to a fella, and I was like, "Mate, what politicians do you know of today that you think have your best interests at heart, genuinely, like completely and utterly have your best interests at heart, and will do the best for you at all times?" I don't think. Honestly, I'm very disenfranchised. Like, you know, for me. Like, okay, so in Northern Ireland, we haven't had a government in 500 days. We just hit that mark the other day. I'm not even joking, like, you know, but that's how, and I'm not disenfranchised, that I'm happy that we don't have a government, because, it's a hard one to get into when it comes to Northern Ireland. There's so much, there's a big back catalogue to get into, and it's just like, oh, do we really have to do this? It's just like, I don't want to know anymore. I don't want to see them. I'm happy enough. We get our budget from Westminster, like, you know, that'll do us. Like, you know, that's the best I can really do at this time period.
Yeah. Our politics are just cancer, and government are cancer at the moment. They actually, like,
what's it
a couple days ago.
Here, actually, I don't really know. You were saying, okay, so New Wales, you say about the gun thing. Are you more like statewide sort of thing? Or are you more like individual states? Like more like America, or is it more like an actual country, or is there Sanders or such? Because, like, you know, you don't really have that many states per se. Like, how does it work for you, or is this something that you want to get into?
Well, with guns, there's the main, like, sort of like law, just like normal people can't own guns unless you have, like, a particular reason. Which most people, if they want to own a gun, their reason is they join a gun club, and so like that'll do them. But there's also, but there's also laws that differ from state to state depending on what guns you can actually own, and depending on which permit you have to have, which category they fall under, whether this classifies as a replica, whether you can actually own a replica, whether this classifies as an imitation firearms. It's a whole fucking bullshit, and I don't know why it's state by state, and there's not just like a whole like nationwide law on this sort of thing.
Yeah, like, okay, see, when it comes to America, when it comes to guns, I think they're different in this aspect, because America, it's part of their, like, okay, Australia, you're not, like, what's your national mythology? Like, you know, could you, what would your...
Mythology?
Well, mythology, or, like, mythos, or ethos is probably the correct word for it. Like, you know, your idea of, what is the image stirred up by Australia? Like, you know, what emotions and what is, like, what's stirred up? Like, you know, what, like, you know, I suppose it's a very new country, so, like, you can't really put in, like, you know, legends or myths or, you know, whatever into it.
Well, I mean, like, legends and stuff, the first that comes to mind is, like, you know, the Aboriginals with the, like, the Dreamtime stories and everything. And then how Aboriginals here are the oldest civilization on Earth that have been here for 50,000 years.
You know, the weird thing is they were in Africa, they were in Australia before there was people in fucking Ireland. Ireland was actually one of the last places to be colonised. So it was because of the ice sheet, because of the fucking... You know, which I find really funny. It's the first written records of Ireland were from the Romans, and they called Ireland Hibernia, which means land of winter. And I'm like, mate, it's not that fucking cold, is it? You know what I mean? Like, you know, come on here. It was pissing. Me and Megan were actually going to have a barbecue today. I'm not even joking, but it's been pissing out because I bought a barbecue Yeah, you'll love this one. I bought a barbecue, so I did, and it's one of those ones like I spent like 180 quid on it, and it's actually really good barbecue. It's like pretty fucking dead on. I would like it's probably pretty gay in your opinion. Like you're like, that's a fucking barbecue. It's like this is a knife sort of. That's exactly what it'd be. But to me, that's a pretty high end barbecue. But we were gonna do it, and then like by the time Megan was back, it was dark, and like it's like it was. It was drizzling with rain and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's fucking August. It's supposed to be sunny, you know what I mean? But like,
do you use metric or imperial?
We would use metric. Well, it depends on what you're doing. If you measure, like for instance, if you're measuring wood or your dick or something, you would use imperial. You know what I mean? But like everything else, like
why?
Wood or the other type of wood. No, I don't know. Yeah, which is weird because if you're measuring wood, it's only wood that you would use inches with. But everything else you would use like, and even then, like you say like okay, 40k. I bought myself a 4x4 sheet of wood about a centimeter thick, and it was for like a board so I could play 40k on in my house.
Literally mixing two different types of fucking like measurement system. Oh yeah, it's a 4x4 board, and then it's a centimeter thick.
Yeah, see that's how. See that's the thing is because it's wood. You use. It's really hard. It's really because people know exactly. The thing is, we know both of them, so it doesn't really matter that much, like But yeah. So I went on in and I said, yeah, could I have it about what was it about quarter? Because I always think wood. I always use because I use I can't remember what the fuck it was. It was like a quarter of an eighth or whatever it was thick, and he's like, oh, about fucking 6 millimeters. So I was like, yeah, sure, fuck it. You know what I mean? One of those ones. Just because I expected, like, what I mean, that's just what you...
Yeah. But I was gonna say, like, because if you use, like, metric and stuff, then, what sort of temperature is it over there? What's your definition of cold? And what's your definition of warm?
Oh, cold would be anything below... I would call it cold if I have to close the windows, and that's probably below, like, 3 or so. Like, if I have to close the window... Fuck. And anything, like, that's... Celsius, and then anything warm, like I would say 15 is pretty fucking warm, like like or like I'm not even joking. It was between 25 and 30 for fucking 2 months, and that's the warmest summer I've ever had. I was dying. Like, I'm not even joking. The sweat was pumping out of me in buckets. I was actually fucking there crying. It's like me just make a piss stain. Like, I'm not culturally in tune with the weather. You know what I mean? I'm a cold guy. I'm white as fuck. Like, I'm the whitest person you've ever met. I'm fucking Ireland, for God's sake. Like, what do you expect? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if the Romans, if these dirty, greasy Italians from fucking from Italy say, "Oh, land of winter," Jesus fuck, you know what I mean? It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Man. I think it's pretty. I'd say it's pretty mild. Like you could arguably wear a t-shirt all year round within reason. Like I would say. Although, like,
so let me tell you the temperatures that I get here. So I think we're in the tail end of winter at the moment here. Yeah. And in the mornings, sometimes it'll get to like, there's been mornings where it's getting like 1 or 2 degrees or like 4. And during the day, it'll get up to like a nice pleasant like 24, 25 degrees.
No, that's not a pleasant 24.
That's pleasant for us.
How do you
summer?
How do you work in that? How is it possible to even see? This is why it's a fucking slave colony. Like, there's no one wants to live there. No one. Tell me one. Like, this is why you all live down the fucking coast. You inland, you're fucking dead. Like,
Well, yeah, this is the coast too. Yeah, but it's like. Summers, it can get up to like, I've seen it go up to 45 degrees. That's the max I've seen it go to before.
I thought people died at that stage, like, be honest with you.
Oh yeah, there's people, if you stay outside too long, you probably would fucking die, dude.
Yeah, fucking, no, I'm not even joking. Me and Megan me and my girlfriend went to, I think it was Gay Pride a few years back. And it was fucking roasting that day. I'm not even joking. And I think I got fucking heat stroke, to be honest with you. And I must have only been like about 32. I'm not even joking. I was like delirious as fuck. I had to go home and get into bed and shit. I was like, I was sitting babbling and fucking doing weird shit, to be honest with you. My head was just confused. I was like, I was sitting like trying to talk. I was like, and the words just weren't coming out. Although that might have been the drink, for all I know. Maybe it might have been the drink. Who knows? There's a possibility. There's a slight possibility there. Oh,
yeah, hang on. Look, what's the temperature right now? So it is, because I'm currently sitting here in my bedroom with my shorts, t-shirt, and a jumper on, and it is 12 degrees, and I'm pretty cold.
Let me just type it in here. It's 11 Celsius for us, and I'd say it's pretty warm.
Yeah, so we're pretty much the same temperature, but for me, I'm fucking cold. I got my UGG boots on, got me fucking jumper on.
UGG boots are fucking Australian. I forgot about that. It's like a thing, isn't it, for you?
They're like Australian/New Zealand.
Yeah, but how do you not make them stink like fuck?
Huh? What do you mean?
How do you not make UGG boots stink to high heaven?
Well, I mean, it's like, you know, unless you got fucking mutant feet, just don't wear them in like... Don't fucking wear them in the heat, retard. Yeah. Wear them when it's cold, when your feet won't sweat.
Yeah, no, I won't say nothing then. I won't say nothing. No, never mind. I'll tell you afterwards. I wouldn't say it on the podcast, for God's sake. But no. Let me think. Another good conspiracy one. We'll keep with the conspiracy ones because I like this. I like talking to people about conspiracies, but I suppose we'll give up on saying he's called Daniel because he's not. It's Deal. Fucking. I said it too many times. I said it too many times to even try and pretend at this point. Like, you know, it doesn't even matter because, like, he doesn't even like. He's fucking disabled when it comes to using the internet. Like, you know. But no, he's really into conspiracy and stuff, and he talks to me about them, and I do find them interesting, and it's. You know, I like listening to people talk shit, like, you know, within reason, because it's always, like, you know, you never know what you're going to learn from someone, you know, and it's very, I would definitely follow the idea or the principle of you don't know what anyone can tell you. Like, you only know so much yourself. It's better off to sit down and, like, listen to someone else and, like, you know, oh, yeah, actually, I didn't know that, and then, you know, work it out yourself, for God's sake, but it's too many people that are hardcore biased out there when it comes to these sorts of things, and a lot of hardcore conspiracy theorists are just too deep, and it's like, mate. Oh, here, actually. So, what's your opinions on Pizzagate? Because this is very controversial.
I've done no research at all. Or really no. Oh, is it the one with the fucking pedophile rings in the pizza places?
Yeah. Right, so for me personally, when it comes to the whole Pizzagate stuff, like, okay, so a lot of the emails are sketchy as fuck. Like, dead sketchy. Because if you go through them, they're weird. And they're obviously talking in some form of code, because, like, people just don't talk like that. You know what I mean? But for me, I would argue that a lot of the Pizzagate stuff is money laundering, because I would say one of the best ways to launder money is to own some form of hospitality chain. Like, you know, a pizza place would be ideal, because... say you sell everything every day, and you just fuck it in the bin, and no one's going to know any different. I would argue that it's money laundering, and probably not some fucking pedophile thing. You know what I mean? I would say money laundering. That's where I would fall on the category. Anyway. Yeah. Although it doesn't really say much, because you're wondering, like, what the fuck's this spastic on about? You know? So you never know.
Oh, that was one of my favorite fucking ones that I found recently. There's this store in America called Mattress Firm, and basically,
so this is the Shane Dawson one, wasn't it? What? This is
I don't know. I heard it. Yeah, I think it might be. Yeah.
Okay. So my girlfriend, she loves Shane Dawson. She's been watching him for fucking ever, and me and her actually do sit down and we watch his conspiracy ones. And the Mattress one was very interesting. See, when it comes to money laundering, it's pretty fucking obvious because it's so easy to do. Money laundering is. It's such a basic concept, and, like, you know, like, see if you know anyone that owns any form of local business or whatever, like, you know, they are going to be cooking the books within reason, like, because that's just what people do, you know what I mean? Everyone says, no one wants to pay full dick when it comes to tax. No one does. Like, you know, okay, taxes do serve a very good purpose and whatever else, but, like, you know, how many people are going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be completely 100% honest? Like, what was that whole thing with Trump? He never released his tax returns, and he just says, Trump says, I'm a good businessman. Well, technically, he's actually not wrong by saying that. Like, you know, technically he is kind of a good businessman.
That was a fucking thing that... There's a thing that happened here. Basically, our Prime Minister is an ex-banker as well. And he's, like, got all of his money in offshore bank accounts and stuff. Yeah, and he's avoiding tax to hell, like our own Prime Minister. And when he's questioned about it, he's just like, he's saying this, like, yeah, it's totally legal. I'm just, like, going through the loopholes that you just haven't fixed.
Well,
That's
then,
just your fault.
well, technically, I hate to say it, but he's actually not wrong by doing so.
Yeah.
Like, and like people don't get. I was talking to one of my mate's brothers, and he's an interesting fella because he's got these like really radical left leaning views, but he's very articulate and he's able to explain himself very well, which I find really interesting because it's not often you can come across someone that has like really out there beliefs. Like, okay, I'm saying my mate Lewis, he's a hardcore Nazi, but what I like about him is he's able to actually explain to me his ideas and his ideology very well. And even then, I don't even know if I'd call him a Nazi at this stage. He's fucking weird. He's just extreme authoritarian. I got him to do one of those the political compass tests, and he came up as a fucking communist, to be honest with you. So I thought that was pretty funny, even though he's like, fucking hate communists, or fucking... But Lewis is like, he'd be very... liberal in his personal life, like, in social matters, and then very authoritarian in governmental matters, so I suppose it makes sense he came up as a communist. Oh dear, no, I didn't even know where I was going with Matthew. Fuck it, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Oh dear. Right, will we nick the Discords to try and get some questions in, or what?
Some people that I asked.
What?
What's this? Oh, there we go. Oh, I was just uploading a picture of just like the mattress firms of like just this like 5 in one fucking street.
Yeah,
it's like you'd think you'd probably want to make it a little less obvious, guys. Come on.
The problem is, like, like, what is it? You're supposed to buy a mattress once every 10 years, but even then, most people, like, they're very expensive things. I would say, when it comes to mattresses, they're probably the best things you can buy because you want a good night's sleep and all that, but, like, honestly, there's not that many people buying that many beds. You know what I mean? It's just, there's no way there's that many people buying beds to support that. Like, what city is this in? Like, what's the population size of the city?
I don't know. I think it said where it actually is from. Oh, it's in Austin.
Austin. Well, Austin's a pretty big city, but that's not like population of Austin, Texas. Yeah. Okay, so population is here. Actually, there's quite a few. Actually, there's 2.3 million. So I suppose maybe. I suppose you could maybe argue that, like, if it's in the multiple millions, maybe. But even then, like, money laundering is a very common crime, and like, I really couldn't blame a lot of people for doing it within reason. I'm like, it's just the way it is. Like, criminals are going to find a way how to create loopholes and make their money usable. Otherwise, like, what have you watched that on Netflix, Ozark at all? It's like
no, I haven't.
Oh, you should check it out. It's like a TV show, and it's all about this here like investor of sorts from Chicago, and he ends up like, he was money laundering for some like, cartel gang, and he ends up getting like kicked out or whatever, and he ends up trying to make all this money back in some backwards town in like Missouri, and it's actually it's really good. It's actually quite an interesting show because they really go into how money laundering works and stuff. It's interesting stuff. I find it interesting anyway.
Yeah,
I like all that, like, see crime documentaries and all that type of shit. I wank like fuck over that, like,
Yeah. See, I got my knowledge from money laundering from Breaking Bad.
Well, again, it runs on the same principles. Like, there's not much difference. Although, see, when it comes to Breaking Bad, I don't know. I was a bit of a fucking faggot when it comes to Breaking Bad because I remember when everyone was wanking over it about 2012, was it? And I was like, everyone was saying to me, it's like, no, James, you need to watch it. You need to watch it. And I'm like, okay, right, I'll give it a go. I sat down and watched the first season. The problem with Breaking Bad is the only good episodes are the fucking season finales. The season finales outstanding. Like, too much filler. I stopped watching whenever there was that episode with the fly. That episode with the fly did it for me. I was just sick of it after that. What was that? Well, the one I'm on about though. It was like season 3, I think.
Wait, that must have been. No, I think that was like season 4. That's pretty late. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I was watching up to that point, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back, I would say. And then whenever it all, like, so a few years later when it was all finished, they were like, no, it's really good, give it a go. And I went ahead and did it again, and I was like, it was alright, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just a fucking faggot, to be honest with you, I don't know.
Well,
Maybe. I don't know. Oh, my fucking my screens are turning off on me, for God's sake. No, I got.
All right. Well.
What?
Well, I guess since shit's still working for now, I guess we'll get into the most artistic part of the podcast.
Oh my!
And that is, of course, where I answer questions from a bunch of you cunts. So if you want to send any questions, comments, topics, life advice, any of that sort of stuff, you can either email me at mrgreentext@gmail.com, Mr. Greentext with an S on the end of that, because people forget that a lot. Or you can comment on the community tab that will go up sometime next week. Although next week I'll probably just be answering the ones that I used last week that I didn't use. But yeah, comment on the older chain, I guess, if you want to do that for next week. But yeah, I've got some that I put it out this week, so they've got some questions for you. Let me just quickly bring up my emails because I think I might have had one. We'll see. Boop 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 boop. Loading. Ah, no, there's nothing there. Never mind.
Oh, for fuck's sake! All
right.
Spamming Discords, aren't I?
All right, so no, there's stuff on the YouTube. There's just no email.
All right.
It's just YouTube saying, "Hey, by the way, we demonetized this one video because it's fucked." Okay, fair enough.
You know how it is.
Yep. So Happy Pile of Guts says, "This is for Neckbeard Cave. What got you into 40k?"
40k. I was actually child when I got into 40k, but it was only like past 4 years I actually got back into it. So, oh fuck. Okay, I'll give you this backstory. I live in Northern Ireland, but my mum's family lives in Dublin. So I was in Dublin with my granny. We're walking about Dublin. I must have been about 6 or 7 at the time. Walked past Games Workshop. They've got all these fancy models, and I was already into model building and stuff when I was that age. So I was like, oh, I made fucking right. So I went on in. And there was it was 3rd edition had just launched at the time, so it was like 98 or so, I think. Yeah, it would have been about 98. And I bought, my granny got me the 3rd edition starter box set, which was the Black Templars versus the Dark Eldar. Dark Eldar is still my main army today, and me and my brother split it. He got the Black Templars, and I got the Dark Eldar. And I thought it was a lot of fun, to be honest with you, and it was one of those ones I was into up until I was about maybe 10 or so, maybe. I wasn't into it in secondary school, but I was definitely in it the whole way through primary school, so probably about 11. Yeah, about 6 to about 11. I was hardcore into it, and I remember the lore and stuff in the universe I was really into, and then about maybe I was in like 1920, I started reading the lore again online. I was like, oh fuck yeah, I forgot about this, and then that's what got me back into it. So there you go. That was a very long, very long one, but I tried to keep it quick for you anyway, because last time it was like I'll just go off a tangent for 10-15 minutes and then we'll go back to the next question.
Well, he's got another question and it'll probably fucking set you off again, but YOLO. It's another one if you feel comfortable answering. How is the religious tension in Ireland nowadays? Here in West Scotland, at least in my school, there hasn't been a fight due to it in years. We've been sharing a school with the Proddies for almost 10 years.
Okay, so for me, the thing is, okay, so we don't have a government because of the tensions anymore, so that's a thing. It's pretty dead on, be honest with you, for the most part. Yeah, you're probably gonna still call people Teagues and stuff. Okay, so the town I live in, I live just outside of Belfast, and it was probably the roughest. The only time anything happens is the 12th. It's pretty much like Northern Ireland's Independence Day, or it's kind of like the same thing. And that would be the only day that shit really happens. But it was pretty rough where I live, I would say, but that's only because we got a lot of fucking people that got death threats and shit moved in.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking sad, to be honest with you. See, this is why, I would agree with Margaret Thatcher with her shit to kill policy when it came to terrorists, you know what I mean? Fuck, I don't know. See, people that get death threats, they probably deserve it. You don't get a death threat or kicked out of an estate. What's it like? You know what I find funny is Northern Ireland's the only country in this day and age where you can straight up exile people.
Jesus.
Yeah, we normally say if you meet someone from Scotland, it's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Because then we exile people to Scotland, and then people from Scotland get exiled to Northern Ireland. It's really weird how it works. I would say it's pretty dead on within reason. It's not that bad. It's like the problems with the whole thing with Northern Ireland, it's been fluctuating forever. Like it's not a religious thing. I wouldn't say it's a cultural thing. It's a different groups of people that just can't work together, and yeah, it's pretty sad, but you have to remain civil with them for most part. Like, okay, so there's a boy in my Discord, Potato Mod, he's from Cavan, so he's still from Ulster, like, so I'll give him credit, like, I'll accept anyone from Ulster within reason, but, like, I can be, which, if you don't know Ulster, like, so Ireland's cut up into 4 different provinces, Ulster, Munster, fuck me, Ulster, Munster, Leinster, and Connaught. Ulster, okay, most of Northern Ireland is Ulster, but it's not all of it. It's weird because it's to do with gerrymandering and stuff like that. Yeah, overall, fuck it, I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to like go hardcore and degrade everything. It's not that bad, to be honest with you. I went in integrated school, so I did, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But like, fuck it, I'm a dirty teak, so like, and this is one of the ones I lean into whenever I talk to most people from down south. So, like, I'm a Catholic and I live in, like, one of the biggest Protestant strongholds in Northern Ireland. Like, and, yeah, officially I should be, like, oppressed and all that shit, but, like, are you really going to be that much? See, this is the mythology that builds into Northern Ireland. Like, the whole mythology is the Red Hand of Ulster, Finn McColl, and, like, the ideology of the local hard man. Are you going to be a wee bitch boy and just bow down to people? Nah. And this is a problem that I have when it comes to, like, Black Lives Matters and stuff. I just see them as, like, garny wee faggots. It's like, mate, fucking stand your own 2 fucking feet. Get on with yourself. Stop getting on like a fucking victim. Are you not, like, the whole idea of, like, are you not you should be, like, a fucking dangerous human being of sorts. Not dangerous, but you know what I mean. You should still. There's a good quote I like. It's from the Bible. It's for the meek shall inherit the earth, and it sounds very bad these days because the meek shall inherit the earth. Are you serious? Well, meek meant a very different thing back then. Like, the best translation is for he who does not need to draw his sword. Essentially, is what meek meant whenever they wrote it. You know what I mean?
Right,
and that's why I would see things like stop being a fucking bitch boy and get on with yourself. Like, stop being a fucking fit. Like, are you gonna be a fucking faggot or what? Like, deal with it and get over yourself, would you? And that's what I would say when it comes to, and you see this a lot with, like, the whole, like, a lot of things that you see with the IRA is it's a woe was me argument, or like, oh, I'm such a victim. Fucking suck my dick. Are you a fucking victim? You know what I mean? That's, you know what I mean? Well, okay, we'll move on, because otherwise I'll just keep going.
I knew it would. Let's see. Doug the Subway Fugitive asks, will he be purchasing Doom Eternal, especially after its recent controversy?
Well,
so
I think I made my point with the last one, although I don't give a fuck about. See all these boys.
I don't know, like, what the fuck is this controversy? I didn't even realize there was one around Doom.
They made, like, an SJW joke in the new Doom one. It's like, that upsets my feelings. And, like,
so
fucking deal with yourself. Get over your fucking self. See, this is the problem. It's degeneration of society. And you see that, like, friends, I saw a furry for the first time in Northern Ireland. I'm not even taking a piss. I thought furry, like, see bronies and stuff like that. I just thought, like, originally when I came across it, I thought this was just a big joke on the internet. It's like, no one's actually into My Little Pony and stuff. Fuck no, they are. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But, it's one of those ones that's like, mate. It is, and, like, see, this is one of the things we have in Northern Ireland. Like, Northern Ireland is a very conservative. It's the only, like, for instance, we don't have, like, we still have guns compared to the rest of the UK. We don't have abortion, we don't have gay rights and stuff like that. We are very conservative, we're still very stuck in our ways, sort of thing. But I think that's to do with where people would call it a civil war, but it's not. It wasn't really a civil war. You'd be fucking mental to say it was a civil war. You know what I mean? Like, only a fucking few thousand people died, for God's sake. Like, but there was a lot of issues and stuff very, very recently. And I think, like, that's. You're born into your environment and stuff like that, and it's stuff like that that gives people an edge. Like, if you look at, like, a lot of, like, okay, if you look at a lot of tribal societies throughout all of history, they don't have a teenager stage. No one that lives in like a Christian environment has a teenager stage, because you have to be the exact same as your parents. If you don't get on like exactly like Aboriginals, they don't have teenagers. Well, not back then anyway. If you did not get on the exact same way as your parents, you would die. You have to be in perfect unity with the flora and fauna around you to survive. Otherwise, you just die. And it's not until you get more luxuries and you get more, you can sit down, you can have you know what I mean, you're not picking berries and fucking hunting antelope, you know what I mean? And that and that degenerates people, and it gets people softer, and it ebbs and flows, and that's the same thing with Doom. Essentially, words upset me, you know what I mean? It's like, Jesus Christ.
Why are they getting offended? You're literally playing a game where you're fucking tearing demons apart with your fucking bare hands. What do you mean?
That's I don't know. It's to do with the whole fucking
bunch of bitch boys.
It's the people that get into journalism, and especially games journalism, that make this thing much bigger than what it actually is. I would say it's oversaturation, and it's the type of people that are reporting on these things, and I don't know. Fuck.
Yeah, right. Here's a fucking weird one. Fred Krueger says pubic hair for teeth or teeth for pubic hair.
Pubic hair for teeth or
teeth for pubic hair?
Well, I suppose I'd never get my dick sucked again, though, would I? So like, I'm gonna have to go for pubes for teeth. I can always get Megan to chew my fit up for me. Like, we were just talking about fucking those like people that live like Eskimos. Sure, they get the women to chew up the meat and stuff to like make it edible. So
Jesus, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's weird. It's to do with like because they live on a solid meat-based diet and stuff. It's really because they've got no like. Say if you can't produce milk and you can't get your tits out in the fucking Arctic, you know what I mean? You're gonna have to like feed the infants. You know, and
yeah.
They do so.
Yeah. Huh. I'm gonna go with killing myself because I would not be able to eat anything ever again.
It's pretty fucking miserable existence. I suppose you could always get a gander, couldn't you? Like although what like, I suppose it's kind of like I don't know. It's hard to imagine pubes for teeth. I don't even want to think about that shit.
I don't want to.
Move on. This is a shit question. I'm not interested. Keep going.
End it all asks, question for Beard. You ever been to fucking... Okay, this is a bunch of, like, I'm gonna assume town names in Ireland. Coleraine?
Coleraine, yeah, I've been to Coleraine, so I have.
Also, Grava?
Put it in, just send it to me on Discord. It'll be easier. Straha. No, I don't know what unless he's using like slang to explain these words. I cannot tell you. No, I've been to Coleraine, so I have Straha. It's a village, for God's sake, on the fucking arse end of nowhere. It's in fucking mate. As if I've fucking been to Coleraine. Suck my dick. It's beside Markerfeld. Jesus, you know. The thing is, see, anyone that lives in like West Northern Ireland, they're all packed culty fucking spastics, to be honest with you. Like, I wouldn't bother with any of them. Honestly, like, Eastern Northern Ireland's the only place that fucking has a decent form of, like, living. Megan's laughing at fucking shit. It's great. You don't find, like, look at this. So, honestly, see, anything fucking west of Belfast is a fucking dump. Lisburn, solid example. Newtownabby, shithole, Ballygally, fucking Carrickfergus, suck my dick. You know what I mean? It's all fucking shite. No way. You know the worst thing is I don't even drive 10 miles outside where I live. You know what I mean? I'm like I'll stay within 5 miles radius of where I've born the whole fucking life.
Fucking A.
Oh, keep going. Give us a good one. As if I've ever been to some shithole town. Suck my dick. Who the fuck's gonna do that? It's like, have you ever been to fucking Tam Hamlet or some shit? No.
Let's see. Kekery Wilson asked, why is his name Neckbeardia now?
Neckbeardia, I kind of like the idea. It's a bit more... The Neckbeard Cave originally came about because it was my room, like, because I said earlier, me and Megan got the sleep out of the house. I've kind of got my own wee den, so like, and the idea from the videos was going to be like, it was all going to be set in my fucking wee room, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just talking about neckbeardy shit, because my girlfriend keeps
Yeah.
sending me saying I'm a neckbeard fuck all the time. And like, yeah, okay, I'm a bit of a neckbeard, but like, fuck it, it's personality trait, just deal with it. We're turning the thing off. She's laughing like fuck her, so she has. No, and then I went for Neckbeardia because it's kind of like the land of neckbeards. You know what I mean? It's kind of got that
Right.
or like maybe like Exodia. Like Yu-Gi-Oh! Exodia, time to duel. You know what I mean? All that type of shit.
There's a fucking old name.
Yeah, I kind of like that one. So yeah, it's kind of like that. Be honest with you, it's just that. Like, I don't really have a topic that I stay to. I just do neckbeardy shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think most neckbeards are into fucking GreenCast. They're into fucking 40k. I think they're into history, and you know what I mean. And my podcast I do, they're into history.
Yeah, gotcha.
Reason. So like, it's pretty neckbeardy shit that I like to do because that's what I'm interested in. So there you go.
Okay, here's another weird one. Akja, Bleach Boy.
Jesus. Fucking not a dirty music. No, not Akbar.
He says, finally a serious question from me. What are your guilty pleasure music groups that either most people hate or think is stupid?
Okay, guilty pleasure music would be, I like to that. Right, okay, so pretty much I would only listen to like Sabaton normally. I listen to a lot of Sabaton, like daily, so I would. But like, guilty pleasures, I suppose, maybe some Chucky Arla music, like, and a bit of fucking Diant Word. Quite enjoy a bit of Diant Word. But that'd be about it, be honest with you. Like, after that, I don't think there's like guilty pleasures per se. Like,
Yeah.
What would your one be?
I don't know. I'm pretty music illiterate, to be honest. Like, majority of the stuff that I listen to are like soundtracks, to be honest. But I don't know. He mentions like personally, I prefer Men at Work. But even like
that's national anthem of fucking Australia. So what do you expect? Everyone loves fucking Men Down at Work, for God's sake.
But like a lot of like the Mimi songs, I actually really enjoy. Like fucking Never Gonna Give You Up. I actually really enjoy.
Yeah, Megan's all into that type of shit. Right, I'm gonna have to ask you. Can you please pause this? I'm about to piss myself. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, go for it, man. Just leave it recording.
Please. Right, I'm not even taking the piss here, but do you remember that episode of The Simpsons where Abraham was busting for the piss and they're driving out in the middle of fucking nowhere and fucking all he sees is like toilets and shit and his bladder ends up exploding? I'm not even joking, that was like me. Fuck me. Right, that's much better. Jesus fuck, like, oh my god. That's been fucking Megan's been looking at me. I've been sitting rocking like fuck the entire for like half an hour. I'm sure you probably hear it in the audio, me fucking rocking all the time.
Oh my god.
Right, just cut that shit. Oh, put it in if you want. Like, might be a bit of they might enjoy it. Fuck it, I don't give a fuck, like,
I'll cut out the part where you like leave and there's nothing there, but
yeah.
I'll just go back to that.
Yeah, go for that, sure. But anyway, so go for the next question, sure.
I don't know what this fucking means, but whatever. Divide et Impera asks, can you pee on Mao Zedong's body?
The Chinese probably fucking kill you for that. To be honest with you, that'd be like pissing on Lenin's corpse. To be honest with you, I don't do Mao Zedong have does he have like an open, well, not like a public?
I don't even know who that is. I'm gonna have to Google.
He's the Chinese communist dictator. Like, he's the one that like.
Oh, is this
Mao
Zedong? General Mao?
Yeah, General Mao. Okay, so the big one that a lot of people point to is he's actually got the biggest kill count in the 20th century. So he does way more. It's estimated to be 80 million that he killed.
Whoa, fuck.
Yeah, it's to do with the famine that he created. Okay, so essentially. See, most communists, they're pretty fucking stupid. Like, I'm just putting it out there. See, if you're a communist, you're probably thick as shit. Like, you're asking for, like, a pack of thugs to take over the government within reason. And pretty much, like, they killed all the people with glasses because they were considered educated. I'm not even taking the piss. They actually did kill people that had glasses. Like, that's just
what
one.
The fuck?
Yeah, it's fucking mad. Same with Pol Pot. He did the same thing. But, no, so with the... what they did was, because Mao saw the birds coming in and picking the seeds off the fields, he put out a order that, right, so every bird that you see you have to kill on sight, and he wasn't noticing that the birds were eating the worms and stuff and the slugs, and he created mass famine for fucking 6 years in China, which killed fucking like 30 odd million alone. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Genuinely. And there's still people that say, oh, you know, see them communist types? Yeah, I could get behind me. Kill yourself. Just kill yourself. Like, you know, if you think that's a good idea, you know. Because the biggest problem when it comes to all these communist types is they always see themselves as, they don't see themselves as a worker. They always see themselves as the intellectual type that will lead the party into a
no one ever thinks they're gonna be the fucking the shit.
Yeah, the shitty grunt that has to actually do the fucking work, you know. And that's the problem I would see when it comes to a lot of these types. It's same thing, right and left. It's both the same issue. Like, you know, they see themselves as like, oh no, I'll be fine, because a lot of the ones that you see is for instance, like, you know, when it comes to a lot of like fascist type of movements, like, yeah, we call the disabled ones, it's like, yeah, maybe you're fucking disabled, so you know what I mean. what are you trying to say here? You know, I don't know.
Let's see. Cloaker Harriet Holwitzer asks, all right, this may sound retarded, but have you ever been attacked by a raccoon?
I don't. There's no raccoons in fucking Australia or fucking raccoons only live in America. Oh my god, you fucking. Okay. The closest we've got is what's your equivalent? We've got badgers. I've got a story about a badger sweater. I can tell you.
I guess you mean in like a pest sort of sense.
Yeah, like what would be like small mammal type of. Like a fox or a badger. I would count them in the same category.
I mean, possums are pretty in here. They fucking like jump on our roof in the middle of the night and fucking scares the shit out of you.
Fuck that. No, I've never had anything like that. I've only had birds fucking singing like fuck. It's like fuck up. You know what I mean? No, I've only had that, like, you know. But no, So me and my mates used to drink in this wee field beside us. You know what I mean? It's a pretty desolate area. Like, you know, there's nowhere else to drink whenever you're like fucking 15, 16. So we all fuck off to this field. And I'm walking home, and there's a big long path and stuff like this. I'm walking back by myself. It's like fucking 2 in the morning. I'm hammered. I'm walking along with my phone light on. And there's like, I see these eyes, like, you know, like cat eyes. In front of me. It's only like 10 meters ahead of me. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I stop and look at it, and it looks at me, and then it just keeps walking towards me. Like, it stops and looks and just keeps going. I'm like, and then it just walks right past me. It's a fucking wee badger. It's barely taller than my foot. To be honest, badgers are strong. Like, you know, they can be really nasty animals, but it must be that. It must be just that used to humans. It's just, I don't give a fuck. Like, you know, you're not like going to do anything, are you? You know what I mean? So
yeah, I guess so.
It just kept walking right past me. Like, you know, I was on the path and it was on, like, you know, the grassy bit beside me. I was like, fuck me. Scared the outside of me, like, you know, at the time, but, like, you know, fuck it. I suppose I was like 15 or so. There you go. That's my quote unquote raccoon story. Jesus Christ, what the fuck were they expecting raccoons? Jesus.
Yeah, what do you mean? Yeah, that's why I read it, because I'm like, pretty sure raccoons aren't in fucking Ireland, because they're not in here either.
It's American.
Fucking dum-dum.
Yeah. Keep going, sure. Anything good?
Let's see. I think there's only about one more good one, and it's from James Jahi, and he says, if you had a theme song, what would it be?
Well, seeing as I made that there evangelical intro today, it would be you know that meme one. Do you know? Yeah. That's why I go for either that or fucking like some Sabaton song. But I'm not edgy enough to pull that off, so you know what I mean. I don't know, maybe. Well, yeah, I suppose you would go for Land Down Under. I come from
I was gonna go with the cop out.
Yeah, you're gonna go for the most generic basic bitch song. Well, I'm Australian, so I suppose I'm gonna have to go for that. Actually, you know what? I'll probably go for the Womble UDA song. Oh, I'll always be a Womble till the day I fucking die. I play it to Potato Mod all the time. He fucking hates me. It's the only good UDA song in Northern Ireland. It's because they're all dirty, wee fat fucks and two-faced slimy cunts. That's what they actually say. I'm not even joking. It's funny as fuck. Whoever wrote that was fucking genius, because it's genuinely just fucking brutal. I don't know. I check it out. Type in, like, the Wombo song UDA into YouTube, and you'll find it. Like, it'll be the top one. Oh, dear. So is that the end of the questions, then,
Yeah, that was all the decent ones. All the rest were just meme shit that I'm just not going to acknowledge. I'm not giving the satisfaction.
Oh, so you have to embrace the... Like, I've embraced it, so I have, like, because that's what my Discord is. It's the biggest package general. It's spastics, known demand. But I still like them, like, they're still decent people, like, so... decent people in quotations. I like them, though. How have you been finding it with the Discord, anyway?
Discord's been great. Yeah. Like, I haven't gotten any, like, cunts or anything like that. I had like one edgy fucking guy that I've banned like 2 people, I think. One was just being a fucking like total edgelord.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, nah, don't be a fuckhead, and I just banned him.
Yeah.
And that's it.
The only little goals I have for my Discord is like, don't like at everyone, or like no CP and no like animal abuse, and that's pretty much it. Like, after that I don't like give a fuck. You can work away. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna get
mine's the same thing. It's just like use common sense. Don't be a fuckhead. Don't post gore or lolly, preferably.
No, gore is completely bad. Like, I've actually had this problem because I did that interview with the furry and stuff the other week, and it was actually really interesting. I wanted to try and get more people in on it. Like, if I can get more other like weird subgroups, because I like listening to these people. It's like, why are you actually into it? Like, who the fuck do you know? They could say, oh yeah, I'm a furry. Why?
Yeah.
And the one that I had on, he was actually very interesting. He could explain it, and he was really into it. And, it's nice to listen to try and get a different point of view, because I always think you can learn something from someone else. And, so I had him on, and it was very interesting stuff. Went for ages, and he was telling us all about it. And what do you know? I got flooded with fucking furries, and all my mods were in an uproar about it. They were all like, "No, we're not having furries." It's like, right, but have they done anything though? It's like, no, but like, we don't want, and I don't really want to be too heavy with the ban hammer per se, because you don't want to completely moderate the fuck out of it, because it's just not fun if you moderate everything.
Yeah.
Like, you lose all, like, fuck me, you've got a green post fucking like, your whole channel is based around shit posting, you know what I mean? You want shit posters there, like, that's what makes it interesting, that's what makes it fun, and that's the same for me. I think that's what I want out of people. I want the fucking edgy, spastic, gay or spastic cunts, you know what I mean? That's what I look for anyway, in a decent member on the Discord,
Yeah. I don't know, yeah, it's been pretty tame. Like, I don't really need any mods at the moment, because like it's not really that big. To be honest, I don't think it's a nice little like community. I think I got going. Not too big.
What do you?
Not
I've got about 1,100, but the problem is there's only about fucking 50 people that are actually active on it. To be honest with you, there's only so many people that are actually going to sit and fucking talk for any length of time. But no, the ones that we do have are actually really good. I really like them. That's probably my favorite part of the YouTube channel. To be honest with you, is just the Discord. I really enjoy it. I think it's a lot of fun. So it is. But no, I just saw it. Well done on the 50k subs, even though that was about 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, cheers.
No, that was pretty good. I myself hit 20k fucking 2 days ago. I thought that was pretty fucking
nice,
sweet.
Man.
I was like, what the fuck's this about? I thought that was pretty sweet. So...
Yeah, what'd you think of me plaque that I got?
I think you bought it, be honest with you. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I think you bought it off fucking eBay and you got it customized. That's what I thought you did.
Nah, I fucking made it myself, dude.
Well, that would explain it then. There you go. Well, no, that was pretty good though. I like that, like, green play button with a fucking thanks for shit posting and all that. But no, I think you could easily hit 100k. It's just a matter of time when it comes to it. You know what I mean? Although I
don't know.
Well,
for some reason, my shit got cut in half compared to last month. Don't know why.
Oh, why? See, I'm the same. Be honest with you, you never know what works, and you don't know what does work. For instance, for me, so I made that furry video, and okay, so it was 2 weeks ago. I'm looking at it right now, 45,000 views, and I'm like, fuck, that's pretty sweet. You know what I mean? That's not bad. Where you look at all my other videos, they're between 5 to 15,000 for the most part, which is like, that's a healthy number. And I make very, very long videos, so like, you can put more, like, and the longer the video is, like, I put an ad in every 10 minutes, and I think that's respectable. Like, it's a 3-second fucking skippable ad, so like, sweet ads. So like, I can make, like, I get a bit more than usual just because like my average length of a video is like 30 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
Although you'll see my parody of your one. I'm looking forward to. You're probably going to cringe. It's like, what the fuck's a spastic doing? Please, mate, stop. It's not funny. It's not original. It's actually really gay. Stop embarrassing me. Get the fuck out. I don't want to know you. You know what I mean? So, well, you'll see. It'll be good. It'll be good. I'm saying this. I'm hyping it too much, and then people are gonna watch it and be like, "James, mate, shut the fuck up, would you? Actually, shut the fuck up and stop getting on like a bitch, boy." Oh dear.
All right, well, I suppose we better call it here. It's fucking hour 40 fucking minute podcast, like an hour longer than usual ones.
Well, you're just gonna have to get used to that. Why the fuck do you get on? Do they not talk or what? Like,
nah, it's like the past ones, like it's just been me by myself talking.
Well, I suppose if you're rambling on, like, an hour is a good length to like ramble on by yourself, like, But see if you got guests on, fuck me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, guess when guests are on, it's usually around hour and a half length, usually anyway.
That's not too bad.
They're typically a lot longer episodes.
Well, I suppose that's by very nature, like, you've got two people talking, so just one person talking shit about them, like, so yeah, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think of that?
I actually have a lot to talk about next week because I got 2 weeks worth of stuff to talk about. Also,
I think you should go get onto the live streaming, like, the live streaming.
I can't live stream, dude. My internet's too shit.
Mate, you like, okay, well, don't do it in 720, but like, you do it in fucking.
I can't do. I've tested it, man. Trust me. I can't even do 360p. I want to. I just can't.
I don't know.
It's so shit.
You need to pick up the game a wee bit, like, get on to it, like, I don't know.
We're supposed to be getting the NBN, which is the National Broadband Network, an upgrade by the end of the year. We'll fucking see. Every time I check the website saying when it's supposed to be here, it gets delayed every couple of months.
I'll tell you a funny one, actually. I had the okay, so my mum owns the house that I live in, so she does. So she owns the house. She bought it, but we rented through the estate agent. And they installed one of those like Virgin Media. They put one of those fiber optic broadband fucking boxes out the front of my house, and like, they put the box out the front. It's like, what the fuck you doing? Like, I went out and dressing again. I was like, mate, get fuck off, would you? You know what I mean? Like, because they rang up the council rang my mom up and was like, can we put a box out the front? And she was like, nah. And then they go ahead. Then like 2 months later, they go ahead and do it. It's like, what the fuck's this about? And they're like, fuck off, would you? And I was like, alright, well, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it, whatever. Alright. And then I get all these boys coming around to my house. It's like, oh, do you want to get Virgin fiber optic? It's like, nah, suck my fucking dick, would you? Like, get the no, leave me. Like, all I get is fucking pamphlets through the door for it. And I was like, oh. I know you're probably like, what's going on? You're going about getting fiber optic broadband to your house, but like, like, okay.
Fucking fiber. Literally, not even like universities have fucking fiber, cunt.
Do they not?
No.
I suppose, but again,
they might get like a couple 100 megabyte download speeds. That might be their like real nice. I personally have 300 kilobyte download speed and maybe 50 kilobyte upload.
That's just sad. How long does it take you to upload a video?
About a 15 megabyte video. Because like, I don't know, I've got ways to compress shit at this point. Smaller ones that are a couple minutes that are about 15 meg. That might take maybe 6 to 5 minutes. But if it's like a longer video, where it's like 10 minutes or so, or it's like 100 meg, it might take maybe half hour to an hour.
It takes me half an hour to upload a half an hour video. I don't know. Like, I won't brag. That's just mean. I wouldn't do that to you. That's just, you know what I mean?
I think we've already been over the retarded speeds you have anyway. I don't really want to hear it again, to be honest.
I don't. Because this is what I've got. Like, anytime I talk to any of my mates, I'm like, and they all say to me, it's like, oh, have you finished work then? Yeah, you doing YouTube full time? And I'm like, yeah, it's really good actually. I'm really enjoying it. And they'll give me this look of fucking disgust, like, you know. And I'm like, yeah, okay, look, I don't mean, I'm sorry, I don't mean to fucking be a dick, but like, you know, like, it's pretty fucking cool. You know, I'm really enjoying it so far, and like, I hope to keep it going as long as humanly possible, because like, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's good. It's genuinely the most fun job I've ever had in my life, and I would like to keep that. You know what I mean? I would give a lot to keep where I am. You know what I mean? And I would definitely take a big pay cut just to keep it like the way it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's funny that because like I get kind of almost the same reaction sometimes when it's just like, oh yeah, like YouTube is one of my main sources of income. They're like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
But then I'm like, oh yeah, no, I have 50,000 subs and I get 1 million views a month, and they're like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah. Like I like, so for me, I'm on I hit between 250,000 to 500,000 views a month, so I do, and they all look at me like, you serious? Because I don't like telling people, like, you know, I wouldn't. Okay, so for instance, when I came to work and stuff, I would never show anyone my channel, like, you know, because I think, like, you know, you should. It restricts on what you can and cannot do. You know what I mean? You don't want your workplace to know what you're posting on the fucking internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Plus, it's also just like, I mean, it's not something to be like personally, it's not something I'm that creatively like satisfied or proud of. Or it's just like, I mean, I read other people's stories. It's not something that, like.
Well, no, I think you
should. Wow, look at this.
Definitely keep going, and like, you know, I really enjoy the painting video and stuff, like, you know, it's good to like break it up and do things.
Oh yeah, those sorts of stuff I have to make every now and then. Where it's just like, fuck, I have to do something different.
Yeah, because like, I did that anime into one, and I had a lot of fun making it. I was actually, you know, the thing is, I woke up this morning and I was like, no, this is exactly, and I actually got, like, you know, normally Megan wakes me up whenever she's going to work, and that's what I normally do. Like, you know, she's in work for 11, so she'd wake me up about 10:30, 11, but she didn't because she slept in. And then I woke up about 1:30, and I actually jumped out of bed, and I was like, oh no, I need to get onto this. You know what I mean? Who the fuck do you know that jumps out of bed to start their working day? Like, you know, I've never, like, you know, I could never imagine myself doing that ever before. Like, you know, I think that's amazing. I really do. And, like, you know, the comments that I get back and all the feedback, and, like, you know, everyone seems to be into it, and I think I do pick out good ones that people seem to enjoy. So, like, you know, fucking, I don't know. I have a lot of fun in what I do, like, you know, so it's nice. You know, but again, it is definitely good to break it up sometimes, because you can't do the same thing day in, day out. Like, you know, for God's sake, my last job was very monotonous, like, you know, so I suppose I'm used to it. Like, you know, I did it for 8 years, the same job, and, like, you know, you know how to doze off and, like, just go on a robot mode and just, like, do it automatically and be like, okay, this is what I got to do, so do this, and then you just walk about and brain dead drone. You know what I mean? But when it comes to YouTube, you have to be a bit creative. You have to think differently. You have to do this and you have to do that, which is really nice because you can do that. Whereas before in the last job, you can't do that. You're just told, go in there, do what you're going to do, and it doesn't matter. As long as you're doing the job, you're going to get paid for it. You're going to get paid the same no matter what. And I think definitely people can tell if you're having a good time doing it, because I think you definitely get more views, and, like, you know, people seem to be more invested in it whenever you're having fun doing it, and, like, you know, it's something that you're into. Like, you know, I definitely notice that, like, you know, whenever I make something, like, oh, I didn't make this great. Actually, I really enjoy this. This is gonna be good. Like, you know, you get that feeling that you make it, and it's like, yeah, fucking right. I can't wait to see people's reactions, and then, like, you know, and then you get that, and it's a nice bit of. You know, it's a nice feedback, like, you know, it's nice to see, but, like, you know, then again, like, you know, if you make something shite, for me, I would say, see if you got over 5% dislikes, you fucked up big time. Like, you know, you fucked up big time. See if it's 5% or more dislikes, that's a shit show. You know what I mean? There's something bad going on here, you know?
Or people are just triggered by your opinion.
Well, that too, I suppose, but even then, like, you know, I suppose my opinions on the dangerous thoughts kind of sing to the choir within reason. Like, you know, I would be, you know, I like, you know, okay, so I've actually do have my political compass video. It's still up on YouTube. For the most part, I'm very left-leaning, I would say. But I can be very authoritarian, and I can be very liberal, but then at the same time, it depends on what topic I'm talking about. I think I think I'd be reasonable within reason when it comes to a lot of political topics. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, for instance, so today I was making a video about liberalism, and I was halfway through it, and I was looking at it, I was like, wait, this is shit. You know what I mean? It was just, I was going through it, and I thought, whenever I first was reading through it, I was like, mate, this is gold, this is good, this is golden, this could be a lot of fun. And then I was halfway through it, and I was like, mate, no, this is not what I want. No, and this is not really what I wanted. I don't think this. No, and then I end up saying, fuck it, I'll just make the Zeech video, because it's already, I had it on the, you know what I mean, I had it on the, what would you call it, the, not the treadmill per se, but you know, you know, when you're cycling through videos, you know you're going to make this video and then that video. I always try and have an idea of what I'm going to make 3 stages ahead. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I've got 11 videos scheduled to upload at the moment.
How the fuck can you make 11? I suppose most of your videos are quite short, though, within reason, though. Like, you know, so I'll go through my last week's video. So 27 minutes. Okay, so a minute and a half. That was the anime intro. An hour 13, 30 minutes, 27. All right, 37 minutes, 35 minutes, 11 minutes, 39 minutes, 49 minutes. You know what I mean? They are quite long, I suppose.
Fucking hell.
You know what I mean? But I like making longer videos because I think you can get more into it. And, like, you know, it's nice to give. Like, I think, like, you know, give the people what they want and give them, if you can give them more, give them more. You know what I mean? That was my policy on it. Like, you know, if that's what they're looking and they're enjoying it, give them as much as they can of it. And, like, you know, for instance, like, you know, I told you last time my average view time was 21 minutes. So it is. But, like, you know, then it jumped up last month to 45 minutes, but now it's back down to oh no, it's not 17, it's 18, about 18, 19 minutes. I was like, fuck, that's a big drop, but it's because the videos aren't as long. You know what I mean? I've made a few videos, but then, but that's also a big thing that I think that maybe do so well for your text-to-speech channel. You know what I mean? Like, as I say, just hit 20,000. How many other text-to-speech channels have hit that number? You know what I mean? It's because my videos are that long, people are watching for that amount of time, they're into it, you know what I mean? And it's, it's something a bit different, because there's a big divide between 40k and text and clean text videos, you know what I mean? But I do think they overlap, and I think I've overlapped quite nicely in that department. I think I've done well enough, like, you know, and I think I've got a decent enough audience, like, you know, I like them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I had someone fucking hit me up on Discord the other day, just be like, "Hey man, do you have a Discord server?" And I'm like, "I've had one for 2 months." And he's like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's literally on the end screen of literally every video I've made, and it's in the description of every video." And he's like, "Oh, I've never watched a video to the end."
Oh, for fuck's sake!
And I'm like. And I'm like, what do you mean? You're obviously not that keen, then. No, you're just messaging me because you want to message me.
Yeah, but I don't. I would say I would get some messages, but not many. I actually, okay, I'll put in a message that I got from a fella, which I thought was actually really nice. I thought it was actually pretty good because, okay, I'll get it up here. It was from. Oh, for God's sake, where the fuck was it? Oh, here we go, Volker. Okay, so I'll send it to you. So and you give me your video voice. Go on, go for it. Right, late night. I thought it was really nice of the fella because, like, you know, because I've been doing a lot with quests and stuff on the 4chan board, and, like, you know, I've been, like, you know, talking to the fellas and trying to get in there, and, you know, I love reading through their stuff, you know, I'm really into it, but, like, you know, I don't comment all that often, but, like, you know, I think I do, and I think it's nice to get people into it, but here, read it out there, sure, or if you want, I'll send you the screenshot. I'll go for it, fuck it.
Yeah, let's see.
Sorry to put you on the spot, as I say, sorry to put you on the spot.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Neckbeardia, they spell your name wrong.
Oh yeah, they did actually. Bird here. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did put an A in there. Oh, okay, he's a nice fella. Okay, I'll say, like, you know, don't worry about that. He's not a bad fella. Like, you know, he meant very well. He meant very well.
All right. So Neckbeardia Keep up your good work, man. I actually found and enjoyed the penal regiment, and then found these boys, and it's all thanks to you. Now I've kind of divined straight down the rabbit hole and into RP. Anyway, man, keep up the good work. I really enjoy the vids. Feel free to come and chill out with us in the Inquisit fucking Warhammer, man.
Yeah,
Inquisitorial regiment, whenever you feel like it. Also, Lidank meme from Malik, I think?
Yeah, Malik, yeah, that's what you call it.
Posted in our Discord. Also, Malik is really proud of all the fucking porno. What? Especially,
yeah,
especially the Mechanicus and
Chimera.
Chimera one you got going on. He also just wanted me to let you know. Courtesy of us sadistic weird-ass mofos in the Inquisitorial Regiment of Malik.
Yeah,
That's nice.
I thought, yeah, like, it's nice to, what I mean, like, let's face my last job, what I mean, there's no real satisfaction out of it, there's no real, what I mean, you come, you show up, you do what you gotta do.
There's no people that are, like, appreciating your work, or, like,
And it's nice to, like...
Or just be like, oh, thanks, I was having a hard day, thanks for this.
Yeah, and it's nice to, like, see that, these people that don't know how to get into it, and it's showing them another aspect of the hobby or interest, whatever you want to call it. And I think it's, what I mean, it's nice to connect people to other people, and they can find friends or whatever on the internet. Because that's what I said about furries, for instance. My opinion on furries was, like, they have to be doing this for some weird ass reason. They're fucking weirdos, like, for the most part, let's face it. To me, when it comes to furries, I just think they're like oddities. Like, they probably got a bad case of autism. They don't connect very well. It's like Chris Chan. They don't connect very well with people on a, when they actually interact with them. They don't connect with them very well, and they feel very isolated, and they don't have many friends.
Yeah.
And it's nice to be able to, like, I mean, point them in the right direction to do some role playing with a few people on the internet, and they can sit in the Discord and they can talk, and I mean, it gives them that social interactions that they're really missing in their day-to-day life, which is nice. I think that's really nice. Like, I couldn't ask for much more from I mean, if this is going to be my job, I think that's pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, it's just like people send me messages all the time, and I reply to most of them. But I mean, like, if you're gonna send me a message, send me a message with some intent. Don't fucking hit me up or just be like, "Hello, hey, how are you going?" It's like, I'm not gonna waste my time.
I got the first one I ever got was off of the Emperor. He's a fellow that does 40k animation videos.
Yeah.
And I sat and was talking to him, and originally I said, "It's like, yo, mate, no, honestly, you'd be better off just joining my Discord, you know what I mean?" And, like, I'm quite active on the Discord, so, like, just go join that, and we'll talk away to you. But, no, he just kept talking to me. I was like, yeah, no, I actually really enjoy him. He's very, I would say he's a good friend of mine. It's a German fella, and I really like him. Like, he's a pretty sound guy. He makes YouTube videos, but he's not very big. Like, he's only got, like 150 subs, but I think he deserves more because the animations that he does make are actually very good. Like, I think they're well put together, and I just don't think he's advertised himself very well, or he hasn't, he hasn't put himself out as well as what he could have, Yeah,
right.
That's what I think his biggest issue is, like, because I think he could be a lot bigger than what he is now, but, like, he's not well, and, he's a sickly fella, that's all I'll say about it, like,
Yeah, fair enough. But, no, yeah, I get some weird ones every now and then. I had a dude message me yesterday or the day before, and he just said, "Hey, want to troll a stream raid with us? We need someone to pretend to be a Taiwanese police lawyer."
What the fuck? Well,
and I'm like, fucking what?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I might get a story out of this. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And I join, and it's 2 people just like,
oh, no.
bagging out. This guy's got like 5 people watching, and I'm like, this isn't a raid. This is just bullying.
Yeah, I get that because so my server's full of fucking autist piss goblins, which I do love them. Don't get me wrong, but they do like to use my Discord as like a staging area for like quote unquote leads, and it's like, oh please, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of fun and all that, but like, fuck it, work away, have a bit of fun, sure, go for it. But there was one message to me, and he's like, "Oh, you reckon you can make a video out of this?" I was like, I don't really want to advertise myself as like leading other people's Discord servers filling full of fucking gore. You know what I mean? I suppose that's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have to be somewhat respectable within reason. Like, you know, I can be I can be crude and vile and do whatever the fuck I want, and you know what I mean, get on like a spastic within reason. But like, you know, I don't want to actively go out of the way and just, you know what I mean, there's no creativity when it comes to posting gore on just some randomer's Discord. Like, you know, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna get banned within seconds. That's what happens. Like, you know, it's just like, you know, it's give me some creativity for fuck's sake. Like, you know, try and do something a bit different, or and work your way in, and then like, you know, get on like what would be a good one? I don't know, just do something weird or different, and like, you know, make people think that you're not a troll but you really are a troll, and just do weird shit. That's fun. You know what I mean? I'd like to watch that.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, I don't know.
Like these guys are trying to explain that like, oh, we're trying to pretend that we're like Russian CIA communists, and we're just like trying to like really scare him and stuff. Ugh. And I'm like, okay. And he spent like a good 30 seconds trying to explain the backstory of it. And I'm like, okay, this is a waste of my time. And I just left.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't got to that point yet, thankfully, anyway. Like, you know, not too badly, I don't think, when it comes to these sorts of things. Like, you know, but it's just something you have to deal with. And, like, you know, they mean well. Like, you know, they're having fun. So, like, you know, I wouldn't want to spoil it for them, like, you know.
Yeah. All right, well, I suppose we'll actually end it now at this point.
Yeah, we can't. You said, yeah, we're ending, and I was like, nah, fuck that shit. Let's just keep talking. I'm having too much fun.
Fucking A. Well, so it is now just over 2 hours at this point. So, fucking last time I forgot about the secret phrase. So I'll let you decide this time. What word or phrase would you like people to use?
Okay, well, as soon as it was at the start of it, I would say maybe woke. We were saying woke.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah,
that was at the start of it. So, like, let's face it. You know, finally, like, most people only watch the first like fucking like 10, 15 minutes, and they're like, I'll just click off or pause it, and then just never come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, you know, I think most people that were there for the start would remember it. Like, you know, if they do bother skipping to the end, they'll remember woke. So, woke's a good one.
Yeah. And I can imagine there's probably people that skip to the end anyway, but whatever. So, if you actually made it the whole way through this 2-hour fucking thing, rambling about conspiracies and history and fucking everything else in between, be sure to let me know in the comments down below by including the word woke. I don't know. Did we make you woke? Explaining some of our favorite conspiracy theories. How did you wake up this morning? I don't fucking know. Just include it down in the comments down below.
You wake up this morning? That's not how it works. How do you wake up this morning? Well, I suppose I did explain how I woke up this morning. I jumped out of bed trying to make a fucking anime intro video for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I suppose I did explain that. So yeah, I suppose it's got 2 more then. Yeah, that's something.
Yeah. And if you oh fuck, my head's full of snot. I'm still fucking sick still. If you have any comments, any questions, queries, life advice, any of that sort of shit you want to send through, email me, mrgreentext@gmail.com. That's Mr. Greentext with an S on the end of that. Or put the shit on the community tab. That will go up not next week. Actually, just put it on the thing from the last week, the one before the Neckbeardia questions, because I'll go through those. Because there's a lot. More than usual. Any final words?
Fuck it, chuck you over there.
I don't even know if that was words, but sure.
Yeah, I don't blame you.